It's Halloween weekend, and that means it's time for trick or treat. For the Green Bay Packers, injuries have caused them bad tricks all season long, leaving them 1-5 and in a bad broth of stew. For the Cincinnati Bengals, it's been treat time this season. They're 5-2 and still in first place in the AFC North. It's the Cincinnati Bengals and the Green Bay Packers on the NFL on Fox. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the NFL on Fox. I'm Sam Rosen along with Bill Moss. Happy Halloween.
Hey, it's a little spooky here in the jungle today.
Yeah, it's a little spooky for the Green Bay Packers. Injuries, every week an injury. Last week, Amon Green goes down, Robert Ferguson down. They lost David Martin in practice. I don't know how you recover from that, Bill.
Well, they haven't been able to, and that's why they're 1-5. There's been a host of injuries, as you talked about, but they've been resilient because Brett Favre is their leader, and he's going to make sure they're that way. This guy leads the NFL in touchdown passes, and as long as he's on the field, the Packers will always have a chance. Every game but one game, Sam, has been extremely close.
For the Cincinnati Bengals, they're still in first place in the AFC North, but they lost last week to the Pittsburgh Steelers, and that kind of got in their heads, Bill, and they need this game to bounce back.
You're exactly right, and very astute, being observative and watching the way these players responded. And when you got here Friday, we talked to all of them. You could feel it still bothered them. But I think it's a good thing, because I think the old Bengals didn't care if they lost. And I think this new Bengal team is maturing. They know they're a good team. They're not going to settle for 500 football. The one thing Marvin Lewis told them, he said, guys, good teams do not lose 2 in a row.
It's a Halloween time, scary masks, outfits galore, cheeseheads are in attendance. It's a fun time in Cincinnati. Who will trick and who will treat? Bengals or the Packers will be set to go in just a moment.
You're watching Fox Sports, broadcasting in HD and presented by DirecTV.
Today, we're demonstrating the amazing doubler. Simply place an item in front of the doubler and it makes a double. 1 not enough, 2 are better. Lost a sock? Create a mate. The doubler instantly doubles any item.
Introducing the new Super Cash from the Wisconsin Lottery. Now select prizes can double, and the jackpot has grown to $350,000. And with a new Match 3 prize, there are even more ways to win.
Doubling is fun.
You know, with most wireless companies, you don't just get charged for calls you make on your cell phone. You also get charged for calls you receive. Did you just make that face? That, huh? You mean get a what? I didn't know that face. Well, at US Cellular, you don't get charged for incoming calls. Did you just make that other face? That, I think I'm going to switch face.
With unlimited Call Me Minutes, there's no charge for incoming calls. US Cellular, we connect with you. Get unlimited Call Me Minutes plus 1,300 anytime minutes for $49.95 a month.
There's nothing like being the first. To see something, to drive something no one else has. Introducing Pontiac's new release party. Be one of the first to experience our new releases. The most new models in our history.
The Pontiac G6 sedan delivers outstanding gas mileage. And with Pontiac's total value promise and new release bonus, a G6 starts at $16,490. See your select Pontiac dealer.
On the next Wake Up, the next time you're out on the lake, watch out for the crossing ghost. We'll talk with a shipwreck expert. Join us. We're here from 5 till 9.
Fox Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Applebee's new Italian style is here.
Hey, Mambo! Mambo Italiano, you must go. Cause something tasty's going on. Oh, Applebee's will thrill you with some food right off the grill.
With so much Italian flavor, Applebee's Italian style will make your taste buds dance.
Hey, Mambo! Mambo Italiano, don't be slow. Cause soon it will be gone. Oh, new Italian dishes that are Applebee's delicious.
Eating good in the neighborhood.
Good improvement.
Thank you, doctor.
Cholesterol's down. Well done.
Great.
Hello, doctor's office.
And I gotta tell you, nice job.
Oh, Mr. Decker?
I told you we'd get it down.
Yep, even doctors can have high cholesterol. When diet and exercise aren't enough, adding Lipitor can lower your bad cholesterol from 39 to 60%. In fact, more cardiologists surveyed said they prescribe Lipitor for their own family members than any other cholesterol brand. Lipitor is one of many cholesterol-lowering treatment options in addition to diet and exercise that you and your doctor can consider. Lipitor is not for everyone, including people with liver problems and women who are nursing, pregnant, or who may become pregnant. Simple blood tests are needed to check for liver problems. Tell your doctor about other medications you are taking or if you experience muscle pain or weakness, as these may be signs of a rare but serious side effect. Ask your doctor about Lipitor today.
He broke into prison to save his brother's life.
Do whatever you gotta do to get us out of here, please.
Fox tomorrow, the season's breakout hit,
We're talking billions of dollars, Mr. Sisler. People have killed for a lot less.
takes a turn that no one is expecting.
My son's out there with a bullseye on his back.
They're here. Oh, God!
There's a reason critics call Prison Break the best TV show of the season. Prison Break, a special encore followed by an all-new episode tomorrow on Fox. Viewer discretion advised.
15th consecutive sellout here at Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati. First meeting between these two teams since 1998. Ryan Longwell to kick off for Green Bay, and we're underway. Tab Perry waits at the 3. There's an opening. He takes it. He gets outside. Good return by Perry up to the 39, making the 40-yard line. Chased out of bounds by Brady Papinga. 36-yard return. Carson Palmer is the second-rated quarterback in the NFL behind Ben Roethlisberger. The offensive line has given up 10 sacks. Willie Anderson starting his 88th consecutive game. Rudy Johnson is 4th in the AFC in rushing. Chad Johnson is 1st in the AFC in pass receiving. From the 40, Rudy Johnson. He picks up 6 on the play. Last week against Pittsburgh, he picked up 46 yards on 9 carries in the first quarter. Then only carried the ball another 3 times after that the remainder of the game.
You know, with this big offensive line of the Cincinnati Bengals, look what the Green Bay Packers are doing over here. Campman, they move to the tight end side, the strong side, and they're keeping Biamia over on the weak side, the open side, Sam. This dominating power run blocking game of the Cincinnati Bengals is going to call for bigger bodies on the tight end side.
They have 2 tight ends in the end around. Chad Johnson, here he goes. First down as he's ridden down by Nick Collins, the safety, but he gets down to the 46-yard line. It's a first down. Packers on defense. Grady Jackson and Cullen Jenkins, the big tackles inside. Kabir Gbaja-Biamila, the big pass rusher. Paris Lennon starts for the injured Niall Diggs, who's still out. He should be back next week. Mark Roman, good friends with TJ Hushmanzada. That could be a matchup, as will Al Harris and Chad Johnson. Rudy Johnson and Jeremy Johnson in the backfield. And it's Rudy Johnson with a nice hole and a strong run as he's pushed back from the 40-yard line by Aaron Campman.
When you come at you with the Johnsons, you know, whether it's Chad outside or Jeremy and Rudy in the backfield, take a look. First of all, here's Willie Anderson. He's going to set pass, and he's going to invite the defensive end upfield. Now watch this open. Now see, that creates the highway. That's a sidewalk right there. He invites the defensive end in a pass rush mode, Sam, to get upfield, and then you hit him downhill with Rudy Johnson.
2nd and 4. The play fake. Palmer with plenty of time going up top. Deep for Chad Johnson, but it's incomplete. He was double covered by Al Harris and Nick Collins.
Well, Al Harris, on 1st and 2nd downs, when he gets in this situation, he is going to be matched up solely on Chad Johnson. That he's going to follow him wherever he goes on 1st and 2nd down. Now, with that, you're also going to get safety help over the top. And the Bengals want to try to get over the top of the Packers defense. But the Packers, Sam, rarely allow you to do that because they'll have the safeties help out, just as they did on that play there. Chad couldn't get to the ball.
3 wide receivers in. Chris Perry, the speed back, is in the backfield, and Matt Schobel split out the tight end. Palmer, some pressure, throwing short, completes to Kevin Walter. He was the 3rd receiver in that formation. It's a first down for the Bengals at the Packers 27. Al Harris took him down.
Well, that's what you call a trail route, Sam, and that's how that whole thing opened up. There were two receivers split out right behind each other, oh, to the left side. See this right here? Now watch the two receiver side. Now one receiver is going to come out and in, and this receiver gets picked up by the linebacker. So it's a trail route, and when the linebacker steps up, that's the clearing route and the opening.
From the 28, it's Rudy Johnson straight ahead. He's hit by Nick Barnett, the middle linebacker, as he got to the 26-yard line. He picked up 2 on the play.
How about the orange jerseys?
This is the first time they've worn them this season. They're 2-0 with them, but in the previous 2 games last season, they wore them with the black pants. I'm not sure about the orange with the white pants.
Well, I'm not sure about the orange if you're over 300 pounds.
Okay.
You know, you're thinking about Halloween here. We've seen a lot of pumpkins around, and some of those offensive linemen, quite frankly, orange isn't their color.
Okay. 2nd and 8. Here's Chris Perry, the speed man, but he's tackled. That's a great play by Robert Thomas. Outstanding tackle by Thomas. If Perry gets to the outside, he might have been gone.
This offensive line, you know, we were just talking about those big guys. You know, the right side of the line is the power side. It's Bobby Williams and Willie Anderson. Now the left side is more of your athletic, if you will, big guy. And that's Levi Jones and Eric Steinbach. And when they go to the left, they use those guys to get out. They can run, they move, they pull Steinbach to the right a lot of times, but it's 2 different sides of an offensive line with 2 different philosophies.
3 wide receivers in. Chris Henry is the 3rd wide on 3rd and 9, and they stop the play. Yep. False start on the Bengals.
You're exactly right. And I believe that was Kelly Washington.
Let's check it out here. The referee is Bill Vinovich.
Delay game. Defense.
Whoa.
Number 28. 5-yard penalty.
Oh.
Still 3rd down.
Yeah. Well, here's what happened on that. Ahmad Carroll was lined up to the other side. He's on the other side over there, and he jumped in the neutral zone and flinched his body. When you attack in the neutral zone to an offensive player, that's called delay a game. That's going to be the 5 yards.
Mike Sherman couldn't believe it. He's upset with the call, obviously.
Well, it rarely happens outside with the defensive backs. It usually happens with defensive ends and defensive tackles, and I believe that's what Coach Sherman's upset about.
Here's 3rd and 4. Again, 3 wide receiver package for the Bengals. Bushman-Zada in motion. Palmer gets pressure, steps up and throws, and it's caught. Matt Schobel, the tight end, with a beautiful grab at the 10-yard line, and it's a 1st down for the Bengals.
And there was that clearing route again with a receiver coming underneath, and that was Bushman-Zada underneath. Bushman-Zada is going to come right under here, and he's going to get the linebackers to jump up on him. Okay, now watch what happens. Here's Schobel. Now see everybody over here on Bushman-Zada? There's Schobel with an opening underneath because the linebackers are jumping on the underneath route.
Rudy Johnson in the backfield, 1st and goal, just inside the 10. Palmer checks off. Roy Manning in at linebacker for the Packers. Straight ahead, Rudy Johnson. A couple of yards down to about the 7-yard line. This drive started from the 40-yard line of the Bengals. And they've run 9 plays, 6 rushes, 3 passes.
Well, and it's a little bit frustrating in there for touchdowns. This team has had to settle, as you see there.
They lead the NFL. This is their 30th possession in the red zone.
And that's something, quite frankly, they need to work on. And I believe that's why on that first play, you saw them come to try to mash them up front. They need to pound that ball and put it in the end zone for touchdowns, not field goals.
Bushman-Zada and Chad Johnson to the right. Rudy Johnson straight ahead inside the 5. Down to the 4-yard line. It'll bring up a 3rd and goal. Colin Cole and Grady Jackson with a tackle for Green Bay.
Now, when you get those 2 runs like that, and you know we've shown some replays. I didn't want to get into it, but Willie Anderson came down and it was explosive on the lineman. Just a big push there with the power side of that line with Bobby Williams. Now, if you run 2 plays like that, Sam, what you come back with now is you get that big 2 tight end set. And then you try to play action here.
2 tight ends in, Stewart and Schobel. Chris Perry in the backfield. Everybody out. On 3rd down, the pass is caught at the goal line. Touchdown, Perry. Carson Palmer with his 14th touchdown pass of the season. This one to the running back. Chris Perry. And the Bengals finish off a 60-yard opening possession drive to take the lead.
And Perry's been the change-up guy for him. And when you have red zone problems and you have a big back and you're not doing things, well, then you go to a change-up. And he's a shift of gear type back.
Second touchdown of the season for Chris Perry. 11-play drive. Took up 6 minutes, 15 seconds. Shane Graham for the extra point. Bengals with a 7-0 lead.
Take a look at where Chris Perry is. He's going to be lined up. Now watch what he does to the linebacker. It's up here. He fakes outside, then comes back inside. See that little move? That was the little move. Just enough to get that linebacker to commit. And Perry's inside him for the touchdown.
It's jammed or something.
What are you doing?
Step back. What are you doing in my car?
Want to get away? Now you can. Just go to Southwest.com for Southwest Airlines' $39 to $149 internet specials to 60 destinations coast to coast. Purchased by October 31st.
You are now free to move about the country.
A priority. The new 6-speed all-wheel drive IS from Lexus.
Sprint Business is reinventing the yes man, so you can say yes to business when and where it happens. Because business today happens everywhere. And now that Sprint and Nextel have come together, you can work more efficiently from almost anywhere and make your business more competitive. In fact, Sprint is now the #1 wireless provider to business, so I guess you can call me a yes man. Although I prefer yes woman.
With Sprint Business, you can make just about any place a workplace. Yes, you can.
Fox NFL Sunday is sponsored by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 40.
Shane Graham kicked the extra point, his 100th as a Cincinnati Bengal. He has never missed an extra point in the NFL, a streak of 128 consecutive extra points. There's the touchdown man, Chris Perry, second year back. Last year, a lot of injuries, didn't play much, but he's been a good change-up back. Graham kicking off. Rashard Lee is deep for the Packers. Lee backpedals into the end zone and brings it out. Straight ahead across the 20 up to the 22-yard line, where he's brought down by Larry Stevens, backup linebacker, 24-yard return. Cincinnati Bengals, Carson Palmer now with 14 touchdown passes.
For your many sons. The all-new 306 horsepower IS from Lexus.
Better health. Sometimes it's in the genes, but as often as not, it's connected to the quality of the information you have at hand. And that's what makes WebMD America's most trusted health information source. It's a place where people find information they could never get their hands on before, where doctors discover new and better ways to care for their patients. A place where everyone can make the connection between better information and better health. WebMD.
Together they stand, poised for action. Anywhere, anytime, even your next football party. The Coors Light Gridiron Cooler Box. 18 16-ounce bottles that hold the same amount of beer as a case. And those big bottles are clad in plastic, so the Coors Light inside stays Rocky Mountain cold. Just ice it up, take it out, and enjoy. The Coors Light Gridiron Cooler Box. Ready to go, ready to play.
The
greatest thrill ride in sports returns. NASCAR on Fox this February.
Fox NFL Sunday is sponsored by Rocky Mountain Refreshing Coors Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL and Super Bowl 40.
Packers offensive line, Mike Flanagan back after missing 2 games. They've given up only 8 sacks this season, none in the last 2 games. Brett Favre, play fake on first down. Rolling, looking, and firing, and completes it for a first down to Antonio Chapman. Starting at wide receiver, his 3rd NFL start, his first in base offense. William Henderson and Tony Fisher in the backfield. Chapman and Driver. Driver is the number 1 receiver, and Bubba Franks. Will see a lot of Donald Lee at tight end, and we'll also see Kevin Berry come in. 2 tight ends in now from the 34.
Yeah. Brett starts out with that rollout, and he pretty much has to do that anymore because of the offensive line problems. But he says he doesn't like to roll on the first couple plays of the game because his old injuries aren't loosened up yet.
Well, he's loose quickly. He goes to Bubba Franks on first down. Franks is taken down at the 36-yard line. Combination of Kevin Casebaharn and former Packer Hannibal Navies. On defense, John Thornton, Brian Robinson, their job is to stop the run. They didn't do a great job last week as they were gashed for 221 yards by the Steelers. Odell Thurman, he's all over the field. Sometimes he overruns plays and is out of position. Ifeanyi Ohalete starting for Madieu Williams, who's out this week. No gain. Tony Fisher going straight ahead. Nothing. Lost a yard on the play. Good tackle by Landon Johnson, who's starting in place of David Pollock, who took over as the starter 2 weeks ago. Pollock out injured this week. For the Green Bay Packers, the running game just has not been there.
This is what is amazing to me. In the history of the Green Bay Packers, 72 yards a game is what they're averaging right now. But in the history of the Green Bay Packers,
here's 3rd
unbelievable.
And 11. Out of the shotgun, low snap. Favre's got it. Favre throws low and a good grab. Donald Driver, beautiful diving catch. And he rolls into Cincinnati territory to the 49-yard line.
Well, you know, we talked about Brett last time we saw him last week, Sam. And you really can't defend the perfect throw. Here they go with a hurry-up offense.
Hurry-up offense, no huddle. Tony Fisher rolls down to the 42-yard line.
There's a wrinkle. And I think when you're 1-5 and you had all the injuries and all the problems you had with the offensive line, I think that's what you do, Sam, is you try to mix things up.
There's a flag on the play.
The hurry-up offense, Sam, was because they didn't want to give the Cincinnati Bengals time to challenge that last pass. I really believe that because it looked to me, it was close. You could review that and see if it hit the turf as his...
12 men, defense, 5-yard penalty, repeat first down.
And the hurry-up offense also caused some confusion for the Bengals on defense as they had 1 too many on the field. So the Packers accept the penalty, gain 5, and have a 1st and 5.
Yeah, I think that was more about the challenge and not about the mentality of a hurry-up offense.
Okay. Had a look at Chuck Bresnahan, the defensive coordinator of the Bengals. Kevin Barry is in, number 71. He's actually a tackle, but he comes in as an eligible tight end. First and 5 for the Packers. Short drop. Now Favre stops and throws deep. And it is just a little too long for Donald Driver. He wanted something called on Deltha O'Neal. O'Neal's pointing at Driver.
Well, you watch it. I think Deltha O'Neal's the one that's actually right there. I think Donald Driver, when he gets up on him, watch, you're going to see. He's going to push off here as this ball is in the air. Watch. Right there, he pushes away from him for separation. And, hey, Deltha O'Neal was right. I mean, if he had caught that, he'd have a contention for offensive pass interference.
2nd and 5, Kevin Barry and Bubba Franks in as tight ends. Tony Fisher is the running back on 2nd and 5. It's Fisher. Cuts it downfield, gets down to the 41-yard line. This is a return home for Tony Fisher, the first time he's played in the state of Ohio since he was in high school, when he was Mr. Football in the state of Ohio. What a great high school career he had as a running back and as a defensive back. Boy, he gashed people, put up some great numbers, and then went on to Notre Dame. Started as a sophomore, but was undrafted after his career at Notre Dame. Signed by the Packers. Favre throws short and overthrew Fisher. The pass was almost intercepted by Kevin Casefaharn. Brings up a 4th down for the Packers, and they'll bring on the punting unit. B.J. Sander, who is from Cincinnati, a homecoming for him. Second-year punter. Kewan Ratliff is deep for the Bengals. Ratliff waits for the fair catch and takes it at the 8-yard line. So the Bengals will have their second possession after a 33-yard punt. They'll start from the 8-yard line with a 7-0 lead.
What's going on, Daddy? Can I borrow the car?
It's a school night.
Come on, please. Yo, I promise to take my girl out here. How about now?
Surrender to the mesmerizing taste of Wendy's Bacon Mushroom Melt. A big bacon cheeseburger made fresh, smothered in mushrooms and a creamy, dreamy cheddar cheese sauce.
It is way past your curfew.
You are grounded, young man. How about now?
Give in to Wendy's Bacon Mushroom Melt. Do Wendy's. Do what tastes right.
Building the fastest car in its class doesn't mean leaving intelligence, beauty, and control behind. Introducing the all-new 306 horsepower IS from Lexus.
I knew he'd come in handy someday.
I'm State Farm Agent Ephraim Sanchez, and this is a true story.
I never knew that his good grades would save us money on car insurance.
I never knew he could get good grades.
He cheated.
He had a tutor. When I found out about Mark's grades, I got him a good student discount.
Dad, if you get me a car, we could get another discount.
Mark's getting a car?
That's so not fair.
More drivers get more discounts from State Farm than anybody else. See what a State Farm agent could save you today.
Like a good neighbor.
State Farm is there.
Fox NFL Sunday, sponsored by State Farm. Great service, great rates. That's why 40 million drivers trust State Farm. By Universal Pictures Jarhead. In theaters November 4th. By WebMD. Better information, better health. And by the all-new Lexus IS. Why live in one dimension?
Brett Favre on the sideline, checking things over. After the Packers drive stalled, this is his 212th consecutive start, the 4th longest streak in NFL history, and the longest by a quarterback. Now the Bengals come out. Packers have Corey Williams, number 99, in for Grady Jackson, who went to the locker room for equipment repair. 2 tight ends for the Bengals. Rudy Johnson, hold off tackle. He gets across the 11. Let's go down to the sideline. Jay Glazer's hanging out there. Jay.
Guys, anytime you know when you do a Cincinnati Bengals game, we've got to talk about, of course, Chad Johnson and his little list of victims in the defensive back category. I spoke to one of those potential victims earlier today, Al Harris, and he said, look, Chad could talk all he wants. I won't get suckered in. I won't talk back to him. But Chad walks over to him at that point and says, you better stretch today because I'm going to do a lot of running downfield and you're going to have to chase me. Back to you guys.
I love Chad Johnson. Palmer's pass just a little behind, almost picked off. It was a little behind Chad Johnson, and Nick Collins had a chance to pick it off when it popped in the air, but it dropped incomplete.
Well, you were just talking about Chad Johnson, Jay Glazer was, and running his mouth and the things he does to get himself ready to play. But when you have one-on-one, anytime you have it, that's going to be a clue for Carson Palmer. He's going to take that shot with Chad Johnson matched up one-on-one with anybody. Now, most teams roll coverage to him, and what that is, what we were talking about before, that's when the safety is involved over the top to help out.
Here's 3rd and 7 with 3 wide receivers in. Everybody out. Palmer throws and completes to Chris Henry. up at the 28-yard line. Henry coming on as the third receiver. We've got our first update of the day. For that, let's go to JB.
All right, Sam, after spiting the Cardinals a 3-0 lead, the Cowboys answer back with rookie running back Marion Barber, 28 yards to pay dirt, his first career touchdown. Cowboys up 7-3. Then Carolina looking for its fourth consecutive victory. Stephen Davis up to gut for his 8th rushing touchdown of the season. They're up 7-0. Stephen Davis having his knee examined. We'll keep you updated. Back to Sam, Bill, and Jay.
Thanks, JB. Rudy Johnson getting up across the 30-yard line on the first down carry. Picked up about 3 on the play. Nick Barnett, the middle linebacker, made the stop for the Packers. So it's been a solid start for the Bengals, Bill. Running the ball, controlling it, moving the ball steadily.
And I think they'll be able to do that for the most part of the day, Sam, what they want to do in the run department. Now, eventually, Green Bay is going to have to bring somebody down inside to help.
Palmer, short drop. He's got pressure. He throws, and he completes it up to the 36-yard line. Chad Johnson's first grab. He has now caught passes in 52 consecutive games, and as usual, does a little talking after the catch.
And it's not a bad thing. You know, I think people think that Chad, it's a bad thing, you know, or an arrogant thing. It's really not.
He's a fun guy.
And you know, for me to say that and you listen to it, you probably say, yeah, well, I don't like it anyhow. If you don't know, if you just met him, you know, Sam, he came in bare-chested the other day and was hugging you.
What a guy. He wanted good props. First down. Rudy Johnson up to the 40-yard line on the 3rd and short.
Oh, look at the power of that offensive line again. They just run it to the right side of the center. And this is the power side. And that actually was the play they just ran. That's the exact play they just ran. And this side is the more athletic side, the faster side. Steinbach pulls on all those power O plays. And then they toss the ball outside when they get Chris Perry involved. And these two guys are just more athletics, faster big men, if you will.
Bengals are 5 for 5 on third down conversions thus far. Palmer's wrapped up. Paris Lennon. And the ball popped loose, but I believe he was down. Yes,
you're right.
But there's a sack for the Packers as Lennon came in from the linebacker spot, blitzing in, and wrapped up Palmer nicely.
Yeah, and sometimes, you know, to get things accomplished, you've got to bring pressure on first down. You have to mix it up. You cannot stand there and be the Green Bay Packers and go toe-to-toe with them, Sam.
That ball did come loose, but the Bengals recovered. Lennon's second sack of the season. The 11th sack given up by the Bengals. A loss of 8 on the play. 3 wide receivers in for Cincinnati. They pick up the blitz. The pass intended for Henry is behind him and is incomplete. The rookie Chris Henry out of West Virginia was going strong. Then the last 2 games, he kind of tailed off. Has had only 1 catch in the previous 2 games, but caught one just earlier.
And he ran the wrong route.
On this last play?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, exactly. They came with the pressure again. Jim Bates, the defense coordinator, has to mix up and bring pressure. And Jim Bates wants his defense to create 3rd and long. At 3rd and 16, well, 18, that's long. So you can expect him to try to come after Carson Palmer right here.
Out of the shotgun, 6 defensive backs in the blitz, and he hit him again. Al Harris flying in from the cornerback position.
Al Harris in the slot. 3rd and 18, you bring the pressure. He is unprotected. Levi Jones on the outside, when you have 2 men coming your side, has 1 to pick up. And if you don't have the back on that side to come over and help out, it's an overload blitz.
Kyle Larson with the punt. Antonio Chapman on the return. Bumped into his own man. And then he is pulled back and pulled down. Short return. Packers with good defense with 2 sacks on Carson Palmer. Force the Bengals to punt back.
miles. The all-new 306 horsepower IS from Lexus.
48 degrees today in the Boston area with some light clouds and possible late day shower.
You guys have to go everywhere with me?
Tom, we're figurative metaphors.
What?
We represent the 5 layers of Visa security that surround you in a pocket of protection.
Hi there.
Like fraud monitoring?
Verified by Visa. Zero liability.
Metaphors.
With Visa, you're protected.
Can metaphors pay? No.
So tell me, is it true you do more brakes than anyone?
Yes, we do almost 2 million brake jobs a year.
And you guarantee all your work?
Absolutely. Is something burning?
Oh, those are Fred's old brakes. Very funny.
Come to the experts in brakes and maintenance, the Midas Touch Maintenance Package. An oil change, tire rotation, and multi-point courtesy check, including brake check, for just $29.95. For mechanics known for their work and their word,
trust the Midas Touch.
See that kid dreaming of serving his country? That jarhead is me.
I love this job. Ooh, Rated R starts Friday.
This is doubleheader day on Fox, and that means good football coming up. After this game, to Denver, the Philadelphia Eagles and the Denver Broncos. Jake Plummer, Donovan McNabb, Eagles battling for the top spot in the NFC East, and Denver on top of the AFC West. On first down, Tony Fisher slipped, gets across the 35 up to the 37. Justin Smith with a tackle for Cincinnati. Tony Fisher, who'd been a third down back behind Amon Green and Najee Davenport, both of them now on IR. So Fisher is the man who's got to step up. And the final seconds of the first quarter tick off. Cincinnati Bengals took the opening kickoff. 60-yard drive in 11 plays, finished off by a Carson Palmer touchdown pass to Chris Perry. It's 7-0 end of the first quarter.
Hey, Jill. Ooh. Hey, honey. I know you don't think I need any more sports in my life, but I do. Boy, howdy do I. I need sports at home. I need sports in the car. I need Sirius satellite radio at Radio Shack, Jill. It's got 100% commercial-free music, and it's also got a Martha Stewart channel, honey, huh? And we can finally learn to make a wreath. Let's make a wreath. Yeah.
This holiday season, don't just get a gift. Get the right gift at Radio Shack.
You're watching the NFL on Fox.
I promise, Chevy Equinox has the highest possible 5-star government front crash test rating.
And has the most rear seat legroom of any SUV in its class.
Equinox from Chevy. The #1 selling cars, trucks, and SUVs in America.
Now, get the 2006 Equinox LS front-wheel drive for around $21,345 after cash back.
That's the Chevy Total Value Promise, and it starts right here.
See your local Chevy dealer today for the #1 selling cars and trucks in Wisconsin.
Thanks for opening your M&I Bank home equity line of credit. It's easy to use with the new M&I Rewards Equity Card.
So I can use the card for anything. Like a new washer and dryer.
Or a foosball table for the new rec room.
And anything I buy earns rewards points.
Yep, for restaurants.
Team parties.
And gift cards.
New uniforms.
And free travel.
Road trip.
Yes.
Open your M&I home equity line of credit today. M&I Bank. Banking the way it was meant to be. Equal housing lender.
Don't miss the mother of all meltdowns.
Plan that scene. I will see the horse. Get out of my house.
When trading spouses meet your new mommy returns.
Gargoyles. Psychics.
All new at 9, 8 Central, Fox Wednesday.
Get out.
Here in Cincinnati, they love Marvin Lewis, their third-year head coach, who has helped turn things around. Right now, the Packers on second down from the 37-yard line. Quick toss to Donald Driver. Slipped one man, and he got up forward progress just short of midfield. Kevin Casefaharn wrapped him up. Thoughts so far about the way the game has unfolded?
Well, I mean, obviously the quick score of the Cincinnati Bengals is indicative of them bouncing back from a disappointing loss last week to the Pittsburgh Steelers. And Sam, I also think that their special teams play. I always believe that on special teams, it's the barometer, it's the gauge in which you monitor the intensity level of your team. They've been outstanding there so far.
First down in midfield. Favre with time, nobody open. Now he finds somebody. Nice grab, Antonio Chapman.
And a first down. And a first down, Chapman. Not only was the grab sensational, but as he was going out of bounds, he saw where the first down marker was and extended the ball. And it doesn't look like it there.
No.
But I don't know if his knee got down, but he extended that ball forward past the first down marker. Watch the one-handed grab. See if his knee is down.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, his knee's down as he's extending forward.
Just a little short. Good effort, without a doubt. Two tight ends, 5 for 7 thus far. Fisher, he's got the first down across the 40. John Thornton made the tackle.
You know, Fisher is an interesting guy. He's for some reason, in his 4 years here in Green Bay, it always comes back to him. Something always comes back to him. You know, if a man goes down or if they need a big play or third down, he's become a third down back because he's really good at everything. He understands pass protection. He's got good hands. He can run routes, and he can run the football. But can he continue to pound like that for a full game?
Donald Lee, second tight end, is in. The toss is to Rashard Lee. Rashard Lee gets about 5 on the play. He's a little more power back than is Tony Fisher. So we see a little of Rashard Lee, who played last year with the Dallas Cowboys.
And that was an outstanding play. The last 2 plays have been power football by the Green Bay Packers, as you see Fisher coming back into the game. And that's something they haven't been really consistent at this year. And it's been the basis of a lot of their problems. But for Cincinnati, the run defense has been their problem. And the 2 teams that have beat them and beat them soundly is because they have not been able to stop the run.
Second and 6. Pump fake, drop it off to Fisher. Slips one man, not much blocking out there, and Fisher comes up short of the line of scrimmage. Loss of a yard on the play. Landon Johnson, the linebacker, and the tackle John Thornton combined on the tackle.
The screenplay for the Packers used to be one of the staples of the offense. But with 2 new guards in here, okay, you're going to have Clem's going to be coming out here, and then William Whitaker, 350 pounds over here. The timing has really been off in the screen game. He has to wait, and Brett has to keep on dropping back further. Then the linemen, because of their size, they're bigger. They're not getting out in front.
Andre Thurman in as a third wide receiver. Favre's pass is complete to Donald Lee, the tight end, for a first down to the 27-yard line. Just as Bill said, when you have Brett Favre, he gives you the chance. He finds a way as he continues to find receivers. 8-yard pickup for the first.
Oh, Donald Lee and Donald Driver were both on that side. There's Lee. He's going to now. What they do? See him move inside here. That's a slant play, and it's a clearing route again from the underneath. They make the linebackers bite up on the first guy crossing that path.
Empty backfield. Favre 7 for 9, make it 8 for 10. Bubba Franks hit hard as he is knocked down at the 7-yard line. That's Bubba Franks' 200th career reception, the 3rd tight end in Packers history to reach the 200 catch mark.
Watch Brett Favre and watch him put air under the ball. Watch the arch of the ball. He lobs it over the head of the linebacker. See that? That's Odell Thurman right there. And Brett could tell where he was and where Bubba would be. He just lobbed it over the linebacker's head.
21-yard pickup. Here's Fisher following Henderson. Good block. Fisher to the goal line. He's just short, a half-yard short. Beautiful block by William Henderson, opening the hole for Tony Fisher. And the Packers are half a yard away.
You know, Fisher doesn't have the speed of Ahman Green, but look at the patience he has as he waits for his big men up front to make their blocks. And another guy that was like that played a long time and just happens to be the career rushing holder in the NFL was Emmitt Smith. Emmitt didn't have that breakaway speed, but he had the patience to wait for his guys to block up front. And to me, that's what Tony Fisher is.
Here's first and goal, a half yard out. Kevin Barry is in. He's eligible as another tight end.
They had to call timeout. There's a challenge. There's a red flag down on the ground. They're going to challenge this to see if Fisher was in on the last play.
Seems like everyone's rushing to get things done faster. But sometimes the best solution is to slow things down. Budweiser Select starts with the finest American and Bavarian hops. Then we brew it longer, giving the beer a full flavor that's easy to drink. Why do we slow things down to make Budweiser Select? It's worth it. Budweiser Select. Expect everything.
Staying at home has never been more fun. Now that Monopoly is back at McDonald's with over $200 million worth of prizes like hot electronics, cool cash, and awesome food. It's the biggest Monopoly game ever.
Bonus the game.
This is the second time I think the Green Bay Packers have really had the edge on the replay system. Time was running down on the clock on the last play. They got down to 1 second. Brett was about to call timeout when Mike Sherman flew through the flag, the challenge flag, to take a look at the last play, which was a goal line play. Now, as you can see there, it appears that Tony Fisher's knee was down. He extends his right arm, but not the ball. So he'll be down. So then why would you say, why would he challenge that and lose a timeout? Well, he was going to lose a timeout anyway, had Brett had to call it, but it was down to 1 second. If he didn't burn the timeout or throw the challenge, it would have been a 5-yard penalty for delay a game. So you're going to lose a timeout no matter what. But you get a chance to see, well, maybe he did get the ball in.
Referee Bill Vinovich.
After reviewing the play, the runner's elbow hit short of the goal line. The ruling on the field stands. Green Bay's charged their first timeout.
Green Bay now 1 for 3 on challenges this season, but as Bill pointed out, it saved a possible delay of game penalty.
Yes, exactly. That would be 5 yards back when you're knocking at the door. You're 2nd and 1 now. You had a chance to look. If it was a touchdown, great, you get it. But if not, you save 5 yards and you lose a timeout here. So I think it was a heck of a call, a heck of a decision. You still have 2nd and 1.
10th play of the drive. 2 fullbacks in, Henderson and Leach. The play fake. Favre throwing incomplete. He actually threw it away. Big time pressure by Robert Gathers, the defensive end.
There should be a holding call on Bubba Franks. At the least, if the ball was in the air, it should have been pass interference. This was a play action pass. Look at Bubba, he's mad. And he was held and he couldn't get open. Watch Bubba Franks, he's gonna line up right here. That's Bubba. Now watch him get picked up by the linebacker. Right there. That's holding, his hands were around him and he couldn't get off of it.
Tauscher is eligible on the right side. And Fisher goes over the top for the touchdown. Tony Fisher finishes off the drive, which started at the 34-yard line. And Marvin Lewis is upset watching the Packers drive down against his team. A 10-play drive with 5 runs and 5 passes. Make it 11 plays, with 5 runs and 6 passes on the drive. And Tony Fisher, the 1-yard dive over the top.
It's not the passes that are upsetting Marvin Lewis. It's those 5 runs, because those 5 runs set up the passes.
Ryan Longwell's extra point is good. The Packers have come back to tie the game. Tony Fisher takes the handoff and goes over the top. It's his first touchdown of the season. The game is tied.
Introducing the new 2006 Cadillac DTS. With a North Star V8 and the world's fastest reacting suspension system. Move in a new direction. The new Cadillac DTS. Breakthrough.
Did you get that email?
The one with the attachment?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you open it?
No.
No? Why?
I can't.
You can't?
I can't.
Why?
Viruses.
It's safe.
Safe?
It's safe. I sent it on our network.
Our network?
Yeah.
It's safe?
It's safe.
Self-defending networks, powered by Cisco.
It's safe.
Think about your family as a company.
The Clark family has reported earnings 30%
with assets
higher.
to protect and grow, a financial future to be managed.
Family at 12 1/4.
At John Hancock, we now offer you a wider range of innovative investment opportunities with access to some of the world's best companies
Martin family.
for the benefit
The Peterson family ended the day on a
of
positive.
the most important one. The new John Hancock. Investments for the opportunities, insurance for the unexpected.
Fox NFL Sunday is sponsored by Cadillac. Introducing the new 2006 DTS, Cadillac Breakthrough. By Cisco, changing the way people work, live, play, and learn. Innovation powered by Cisco. By Taco Bell, think outside the bun. And by Warner Brothers' Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, in theaters Friday, November 18th.
Back in Cincinnati on a beautiful day, Packers kick coverage leaders. Marviel Underwood, defensive back. The veteran William Henderson, strong man. He's a wedge buster. And the rookie Brady Papinga, he flies all over the field.
You don't get the chance to see much special teams coverage. You're going to watch these three guys, all of them running down for coverage. I guarantee you, one, if not all three, will be around the ball by the time that thing is done.
Tab Perry is deep for the Bengals as Ryan Longwell steps into it. Line drive kick. Perry takes it on the run at the 8. And down he goes. And it's William Henderson.
Yep, there you go. I said one, if not all three. That's just the way that cookie crumbles each and every time.
He's a big man, strong and powerful. He hunted down Perry and took him down.
Tell me you didn't invite him.
Great taste, great times.
Introducing the new 2006 Cadillac DTS. With a North Star V8 and the world's fastest reacting suspension system. Move in a new direction. The new Cadillac DTS. Breakthrough.
On November 18th, get ready
They're dress robes.
Murder me, Harry.
for a new year.
Oh, no, you don't, Sonny! Is that a student?
An ancient challenge.
The Tri-Wizard Tournament has begun.
And the return
So he's coming closer.
of you know who.
Lord Voldemort, he's back.
Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Rated PG-13. In theaters and IMAX November 18th. He broke into prison to save his brother's life.
Do whatever you gotta do to get us out of here.
Fox tomorrow, the season's breakout hit.
My son's out there with a bullseye on his back.
They're here. Oh, God!
Takes a turn that no one is expecting. Prison Break, a special encore followed by an all-new episode tomorrow on Fox. Viewer discretion advised.
Well, in 12 years, William Henderson still getting his name mentioned on the broadcast, and why William Henderson before the game said, hey, I'm a grunt. I'm a dying breed. Guys like myself and Lorenzo Neal have got to do whatever we can to still get out there, guys.
Thanks, Jay. Palmer in trouble, throws it away. Aaron
Flag down.
Campman was chasing him on the play, and the flag goes down around the line of scrimmage, and we'll check that out.
Jay Glazer was talking about William Henderson being a grunt. You know,
Offsides. Defense number 28. Lined up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Ahmad Carroll lined up in the neutral zone. 5 yards for the Bengals.
The grunt, you know, it's just another word for a hard-working guy, a blue-collar guy. You know, William Henderson comes to work every single day with his hard hat and his lunch pail. And in 12 years, when you're still on kickoff coverage, you have to have a passion for that. That's something normally the guys trying to make the team, the rookies and the first or second-year guys do.
On 1st and 5 from the 32-yard line, Palmer checking off. Chris Perry in the backfield with Jeremy Johnson, the fullback. Everybody out. Palmer to Chris Perry. Chased by Nick Barnett. Taken down, but it's a first down up at the 42. Let's get an update from JB. What do you got, JB?
Hey, Sam, in the battle for first place in the NFC North, take a look at Cal Orton directing a 10-play, 99-yard drive. That a 23-yard strike to Musa Muhammad. 7-3 Bears. Arizona and Dallas. Josh McCown going to his guy, Anquan Bolden, who was shut out last week for the first time in 32 games. Not there. That 44-yarder ties it up against the Cowboys. Back to Sam and Bill.
Thanks, JB. First down for the Bengals at the 42. Rudy Johnson. Excuse me, that's Perry. No gain on the play. How about that pass by Kyle Orton? He looked good.
He certainly does. We saw him a couple weeks ago, and he's just a young man thrown into the league and forced to start. He was saying he was just hoping he could get a year under his belt and back up and learn a little bit. And he was made to be a starter right away. But you can see he's getting better and better every week.
Yeah, that game for first place. Chicago and Detroit at 3-3. Minnesota 2-4. They are in Carolina trailing 10-0. And here, Packers trying to hang in there. Are 7-7 with Cincinnati. Empty backfield. Palmer swings it out to Perry. One man missed. Mark Roman didn't miss. He pulled him out of bounds. The former Bengal, Mark Roman, played in Cincinnati for 4 years to begin his career.
And again, Perry, Sam. Perry is a nice changeup for the Cincinnati Bengals. And the thing about it is, I think if I remember correctly, coming out last year in the draft, he was a guy that had a knock that because he was at Michigan, he didn't have great hands. He wasn't a catching, pass receiving guy. And that's one of his strongest qualities, as Marvin Lewis has found out.
He's second in the league in receptions by a running back. Brian Westbrook, number 1. Chris Perry, number 2. Palmer, pressure, gets rid of it. And it was somewhere in the vicinity of Chad Johnson. No flag on the play. There is, let's see, is there a flag on the far side?
Yeah, there is. I believe
something
it's going to be
happened on the
holding.
far side.
Well, they had man-to-man coverage on the far side with Al Harris and also Joey Thomas.
Defense number 24. 5-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
Joey Thomas, hands to the face. First down, Cincinnati.
Did you see the chewing that was going on over there? You're going to catch it. It's going to be right outside here. See that? The hands came up. When you get up and have to play bump coverage, press coverage, that means you're up on the line of scrimmage across from the wide receiver, and you're challenging him, saying, come on, see if you can get by me. And when you go to make that lunge to the chest area to jolt him, to stuff him, sometimes you catch a face mask.
In Packers territory, first down at the 48. A couple of penalties have helped the Bengals. Rudy Johnson, nice game. Good, hard run. Looks like he got about 10. Nick Barnett, the middle linebacker, with a tackle, but Rudy Johnson with a good run.
Well, and look at what's going on. Remember I told you they've been switching side? There's Kabir Bajabiamia, okay? He's got him on the open side, but look what they do to him to create that, and he's going to end up at the end of the play, downfield and on the ground. And that's what Levi Jones just took him and mashed him that time. And the Green Bay Packers were trying to get Campman, the bigger size guy, over to the strong side, to a tight end side. But now it doesn't matter. The Bengals countered and said, hey, we'll take him on the open side.
Johnson picked up 10 on the last carry. It was enough for a first down. Quick out to Chad Johnson. Double team there by Al Harris and Nick Collins, but he picked up a good 5 on the play. Rudy Johnson, 9 carries, 39 yards. Carson Palmer, 8 for 11. 69 yards. 5 defensive backs in for the Packers. 3 wide receivers, Kelly Washington in. Badger jumps across the line. Palmer went down. And we'll see what the call is. Looks like offside on Kabir Badja-Biamila.
Well, offside. Defense number 94. 5-yard penalty.
That's a free play. That's a free play.
I'm surprised that Palmer didn't go through with the play.
Yeah, I mean, that's a free shot. You're going to get the play over even if they intercept the pass. That's when you drop back and you take a deep shot downfield.
It brings up a 2nd and 1. 3 penalties on this Bengals drive by the Packers defense. 4 in the game. Rudy Johnson. He's got the first down and extra yards after that down to the 21-yard line.
Look at the big fella here. Look at Willie Anderson right here, okay? Now take a look at this big fella here. There's Bobby Williams. There's the 2 pumpkins, and look at the pumpkin pie mash. That's just pumpkin pie mash right there.
First down for the Bengals on the 21-yard line. The 2 Johnsons in the backfield. Yes. You're going to sing for us, huh? Rudy Johnson straight ahead. Packers knock him back. He tries to get outside. Oh, look at that tackle by Mark Roman. Gets up and a little trash talking to his former teammate. Mark Roman was a 2nd-round draft pick of the Bengals in 2000. It's his 2nd year with the Packers.
Well, to be quite honest with you, Rudy missed the hole. The hole is going to be outside here, and he's going to miss it. It's going to be right out here. See, that's where the hole was, and he didn't get to the hole. He didn't see the hole. Then he had to bounce out of there because he hit the wrong spot. And when he bounced out, that's when pursuit finally caught up with him.
2nd and 18 back at the 29-yard line. 2 wide receivers to the right. Palmer wants to go deep. Goes short instead. Nice catch. Hirschmann-Zada brought down by Hawkins at the 17-yard line. Pickup of 12. It'll bring up a 3rd and 6 for the Bengals. Palmer was looking deep. Didn't have a man there.
Well, Al Wilson. That's because, Al Harris had him covered up. Al Harris had Chad Johnson covered up. And that's who he's looking for right there. And when he wasn't there, he said, okay, I'm going to take the check down underneath. Here's Chad. See that? That's what he was looking for downfield, but he was covered up.
Chris Berry in the backfield. Palmer looking, throwing, he's got his man down at the 8-yard line.
Yeah, he's got him. He sure does.
Chad Johnson. And it's a first down Bengals, a 1st and goal at the 8.
Protection is where it all starts up front. And Carson Palmer has all the time he needs. And if you've got time as a quarterback, Sam, you and I could be the receivers, and eventually we'd get open.
You think so?
Well, maybe you.
No, I think maybe you.
But that's the honest to goodness truth. And then when you have guys like Hirschmann-Zada and Chad Johnson and Kelly Washington and Kevin Walter, it's going to happen no matter what. But it all starts with protection.
I'm the same as you. I got a few mutual funds. Make an occasional trade, but not exactly Mr. Wall Street, you know? So I see these TV commercials offering like, I don't know, $7 a trade, which sounds great, right? Except when I go to sign up, $7 a trade is if you're making like, I don't know, a gazillion trades a year. Like I don't have anything else to do. Honey, okay.
Remember, guys, Tom will be paying with his Visa card. You guys will represent the 5 layers of Visa security. Matt, zero liability. Brandon, identity theft assistance. Russ, fraud monitoring.
Why am I fraud monitoring?
What?
Why can't I be zero liability?
Well, Russ, I'm actually zero liability.
Why can't you be identity theft assistance?
I'm identity assistance.
Hey, listen, I'll be fraud monitoring. You? Fraud monitoring?
With Visa, you're protected.
I'm the director.
Well, why can't I be the director?
NFL Sunday, sponsored by Hummer. Check out the new H3. Hummer, like nothing else.
Well, we've talked about Chad Johnson and his matchup with Al Harris, but it's also a big honor for Chad Johnson to play on the same field as Brett Favre. Earlier today, catching a pass from Brett Favre, but then Johnson actually takes it one step further, guys. Before the game, Chad Johnson had the, gall to walk over to Brett Favre and said, "Can I get your jersey when this game is over? I'd really love for you to take it off. You don't give it to me, I'm going to tackle you after the game. I want that jersey." Back to you guys. We're all fans of Favre, I guess.
Thanks, Jay. Carson Palmer checking off. First and goal at the 8-yard line. Short drop fade into the corner for Chad Johnson. Incomplete. He was out of bounds.
Feet were not in.
Great effort by Chad Johnson, but he was diving out of bounds. Remember last week he made a great catch in the end zone early against Pittsburgh, but he came down with his right hand over the end line, and it was incomplete.
Well, this is tough as heck. Look at his over-the-shoulder, had to turn all the way around, and reaching out for it, he wasn't able to get his feet down to drag his feet.
Second and goal.
That's a tough catch. Over the shoulder and then completely all the way around to the other side. It is so difficult.
11th play of the drive. Palmer is 5 for 6 on this drive.
Blitz.
Under pressure, he throws. He had an open man, Chris Perry, but he missed him wide. Nick Collins was spun around by Perry on a nice move, but the ball falls incomplete.
Oh, watch. The blitz comes, and you have to trust your backs, okay? Trust these guys are going to step up and pick it up. Look at the blitz pickup by Jeremy Johnson. Carson Palmer has to trust that these guys are going to be there. He got a little anxious in his throw when he saw the blitz coming. Trust in those guys. They'll be there for you.
Third and goal from the 8. Palmer is 10 for 15, 89 yards. 4 wide receivers in. Empty backfield. Everybody out. Palmer looking, throwing, short touchdown. TJ Hushmanzada.
I can't remember who I said at the top of the show my fantasy player was.
Palmer, he now leads the NFL with 15 touchdown passes, moving ahead of Brett Favre.
If you have time in the pocket, I said it, Sam, you and I could get open. When you have Chad Johnson, Hushmanzada, and that cast of wide receivers he has, you'll get open.
I'm starting to believe you now, Bill. Bengals regain the lead. Shane Graham for the extra point. It's 14-7. 12 plays, 73 yards. They went almost 6.5 minutes with the ball.
It wasn't what he was looking for initially, but again, it's the check down and the separation on Mark Roman by TJ Hushmanzada. Yahtzee for the Cincinnati Bengals.
Tie 7-7. We'll be back after the break.
Beer run. Beer run.
Oh, beer run.
Beer run.
This season, don't miss a thing from your sports or your beer. Grab a Miller Lite with more taste than Bud Light and half the carbs. Miller. Good call.
Introducing Taco Bell's new Steak or Chicken Nachos Bel Grande. Grilled authentic carne asada steak or marinated all white meat chicken give Nachos Bel Grande that great flavor of the grill. For great grilled taste, think outside the bun.
Be a part of TV's best night of drama, the new Fox Tuesday. First, she can solve a murder
There's a woman here. She's missing her heart.
just by looking at the bones.
We don't just have a killer on our hands. We have a cannibal.
Based on the real-life story of forensic anthropologist Kathy Reichs, Bones. Then, when a doctor becomes a patient, can House save him from himself? Take the pills, or I'll let you die. An all-new House. It all starts at 8/7 Central on the new Fox Tuesday.
There's only one place to watch new episodes of Family Guy. 1 week from tonight on Fox.
And suddenly, to my surprise, he did the mash. He did the monster mash.
The monster mash.
It was a graveyard smash.
He did the mash.
It caught on in a flash.
He did the mash.
He did the monster.
Great day in Cincinnati. Love the outfits. Chad Johnson, holding his left shoulder, is heading for the Bengals locker room. Longwell's kickoff taken by Richard Lee at the 8-yard line. Lee cut it back inside and met a host of Bengals as they took him down at the 28-yard line. Jay, what's going on down there?
Well, Sam, earlier, about 3 or 4 plays before that touchdown, Chad Johnson got stung over the middle. He was slow getting up there. He tried to continue after that play, but when he came over to the sidelines, he just dropped to one knee. Doctors rushed over to him, tried to get up. The coaches told him to sit back down, and he was holding his left, clavicle area, shoulder, chest area. That's where it was giving him some problems. Back to you.
Jake Glazier, you're exactly right, and that big hit occurred, and that was Mark Roman who hit him as they were driving down the field for that last touchdown.
Well play, Tony Fisher. Nice hole. Fisher up across the 35-yard line. Here's that play, Bill. Take a look.
Well, Mark Roman's been trying to make a staple game out of this. He's been trying to tell everyone, I'm here. This is his old haunt, if you will. But that was that play right there on that drive that drove him down into the turf. And Mark Roman, when he's had the chance, has been throwing his body around with a lot of vigor.
A hard hit by the former Bengal. Fisher and Vontae Leach in the backfield. Third possession of the first half of the Packers. Scored on the second one. Nice fake by Farr. Fires and completes it to the tight end Donald Lee up at the 48-yard line. Pickup of 13 on the play. And the Packers on the move. Lee's second catch of the first half, and Brett Favre will let the clock run down to the 2-minute warning. Brett Favre goes over to talk with Mike Sherman. Packers trying to drive in, get back, and tie this game up. Bengals lead it 14-7.
Fox NFL Sunday is sponsored by the new Sprint, the official telecommunications service sponsor of the NFL.
Trimming a tree on game day, you say? With the NFL on Sprint, I still get the play-by-play.
Leaving this tree isn't something I chance, so I enjoy stats from my perch on this branch.
The boss asked us to prune the greenery, so I listen to highlights while I take in the scenery.
Should your next climb up a pine make you quake?
Enjoy what great bedfellows, trees, and football make!
Exclusive NFL programs, only from the new Sprint.
I get so congested from my allergies that I feel like I'm not all there. So I got Clear with Claritin D.
Come on, you're on.
For long-lasting, non-drowsy relief of your worst congestion and sinus pressure, nothing is stronger or faster. Non-drowsy Claritin D.
Live Claritin Clear.
I'm number one. I'm number one. No, I'm number one. I'm number one.
Recently, I went to my GM dealership for an oil change. Mr. Goodwrench noticed my tires were really worn. I had them replaced, and that same night, I got caught in a sudden storm. The road was like an ice rink. A car spun out in front of me, but I was able to maintain control. Thanks, Mr. Goodwrench.
No problem. It's what we do.
GM Goodwrench, because who knows what's down the road.
Sam Rosen, Bill Moss, Jay Glazer at Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati. This is a good one.
That's not the three of us.
Yeah,
That's
it could
not.
be. It's an orange cheesehead from the 48.
That would be cheddar.
Yeah. Fisher takes it, nice turn. And in the Bengals territory, gets down to the 44-yard line. Landon Johnson took him down. Brett Favre is 10 for 13 in the first half.
Movement. That's what the Green Bay Packers have fallen back to resort on, is the movement of Brett Favre. He will bootleg, he will dash, he will sprint out, he'll run right, left, backwards. But movement is what his protection is right now. He creates his own.
Two tight ends in, that pass tip. Good play by Robert.
Intercepted.
Gathers to the Bengals, catch it?
Yes, they did.
Yes, it's an interception. How about that? Gathers, intercepted, tipped the ball, and Odell Thurman came up with the interception. Thurman's third interception of the season.
And this is a well-coached defensive line. They know the slant pass is up. So when you are in the path of the quarterback, and that's slant, which is the staple of this West Coast offense, and what the Green Bay Packers do, you get your hands up because that's where the ball's coming out. You really don't know if you're going to get it. It's a shot in the dark most of the time, but it's a chance. And that's what this defensive line's been taught. Get some push. Get your hands up.
First interception thrown by Brett Favre the last 3 games. Now the Bengals have time. They have 2 timeouts. They lead by 7. They have the ball on their own 43. Everybody out. Palmer outside. The catch made by Chris Henry up at the 48-yard line.
I think you go for it. You know, I think right now they created a turnover, and that's what this offense, this what Bengals team does. They lead the National Football League.
And here they go. Short drop, pass
interference.
And there's the flag. Kevin Walter, the intended receiver. Ahmad Carroll got his arms around him a little too soon, just before the ball got there.
You know, you can't argue that.
Pass interference. Defense number 28. Spot foul. Automatic. First down.
Okay, what Ahmad Carroll, I believe, is trying to argue that it's inside 5 yards. Well, it doesn't matter if the ball's in the air, right. You can't contact the receiver.
See that score, Carolina leading Minnesota 17-0. Vikings cannot play outdoors. They can't win outdoors. Right here, the Bengals. And the play is stopped. There's a timeout called before the start of the play. Cincinnati used the timeout.
Second charge timeout. Cincinnati.
Marvin Lewis is upset. Don't forget, second game of our doubleheader. Another good one. Philadelphia Eagles battling for the lead in the NFC East. The Denver Broncos lead the AFC West. It'll be a good one in Denver. Brett Favre, a little upset that they turned the ball over.
I don't believe that the Bengals had enough players on the field.
Well, that would get the coach upset for sure.
Well, you know, you're trying to get in that hurry-up mode, and you're pressed with time as well here. And I think that they need to score because it'll put really the finishing touches on what they want to happen today to the Green Bay Packers.
So Chad Johnson out, T.J. Hushmanzada, Chris Henry, and Kevin Walter, the 3 wide receivers. Out of the shotgun. Palmer short to Chris Perry. Not much blocking. Bajabiamila made the tackle for a loss. Loss of about 4 on the play. And the Bengals go no huddle with the clock running. Loss of 3, 2nd and 13. Everybody out. Palmer throwing, and a catch by T.J. Hushmanzada at the 31-yard line. Beautiful grab by Hushmanzada, who had missed a couple of games, got back in the lineup last week. That's a 21-yard pickup, his 3rd catch of the day. Now the Bengals are within field goal range.
Hushmanzada's on the right side, and what this is actually a deep smash route.
That's a good thrown, well-thrown ball.
Exactly where it needed to be. You can't defend a well-thrown ball.
Chad Johnson is back, and he is split out to the right side, and there's a flag down.
men.
Too many men.
Offense. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Did Chad run onto the field? Nobody knew about it? Kevin Walter didn't get off in time.
That's what it is. And it doesn't matter about where they are. If they're by the sidelines and they're not off, you can't mess with the number of people counted in the huddle or coming off the sidelines, because that will confuse the defensive coordinator. They try to make it as fair as they possibly can.
Ball's back at the 35. Chris Perry in the backfield. Bengals still have one timeout. Plenty of time to move. Pressure. And a good job of getting rid of it by Palmer. Chad Johnson makes the grab just inside the 30-yard line. So Johnson looks like he's okay. Nick Collins took him down. Clock running. On second down, just inside the 30, Palmer throws and completes it. Bouncing off was Hushmanzada.
He's out of bounds.
And he stays in bounds. They got the timeout, and it ran out.
Nope.
They ran out of time.
They did. They tried to go for it when he came down the sidelines. That was an outstanding job by Nick Collins of grabbing him and pulling him back onto the field of play. Hushmanzada couldn't get out to stop the clock.
He made a mistake. He turned inside instead of stepping out of bounds. He had a chance to get out. Instead of going for the sideline and getting out right there, he looked for more yardage. And the first half ran out.
Ahmad Carroll, outstanding job.
We're at halftime with the Bengals leading the Green Bay Packers 14-7. Welcome back to Cincinnati. Sam Rosen, Bill Moss, Jay Glazer. Earlier this week, everyone lost a man who is so vital, so important to the National Football League, helping to make what it is today. Wellington Mara died of cancer at the age of 89. The owner of the New York Giants, long a leader, not a man who was up front, but a man who so loved his team and so loved the league and was a visionary and helped, as I said before, build the league to what it is today. And it's a huge loss for the NFL and for anyone who knew Wellington Mara at all.
Well, he certainly extends far beyond the NFL, and I think, for us, the further you get away from the past, the more uncertainty, I believe, is going to be in the future. And what a great man he was all the way around.
A man who was vital behind closed doors. I got to see him so much, Bill, over 25 years, just walking around, watching his team practice, walking around the track, exercising, and always had a smile and a good word for everyone. And so sad about his passing. Underway second half. Bengals kick off. Rashard Lee for the Packers from the 3. Looking for an opening, he finds one. Turns upfield, gets across the 30. Nice return by Rashard Lee to the 32. Let's go to the sideline to Jay Glazer.
Guys, had a chance to talk to Mike Sherman and Marvin Lewis at halftime, and both coaches, if you didn't know the score, you'd think it was reversed. What I mean by that, Mike Sherman down by 7 points. He said we're happy with what's going on. We like the fact that we can go into the halftime locker room having stopped the Bengals on that one drive. We have to make some adjustments against Carson, but we like what we're doing. Marvin Lewis wasn't a happy camper. Went in, told his guys, you guys cannot continue to make these plays. You've got to finish up your drive, and you can't do dumb things like Chad Johnson. He ran out there without telling anybody, and I've got them a penalty at the end of the half. Back to you guys.
Favre, the dump ball pass to William Henderson, the fullback, rumbles across the 40 up to the 41-yard line, just short of the first down line. Brian Simmons makes the stop.
Well, on that play right there, Brett Favre, as I was talking about in the first half, creates his own protection a lot of times. With the moves and the boots and the rolls. Watch him here. Here's the fake handoff. Now it's the bootleg. He sees there's trouble, and he backs up with the jump pass. He buys time for everybody else.
Favre is hooked up with 6 different receivers in the game. 2nd and 1, Tony Fisher. Fighting his way for that first down. He made a couple of yards up to the 44. It's a first down for the Packers.
Back to what Jay Glazer was talking about coming out of the locker room at halftime and talking to all the coaches. He's exactly right. I mean, defensively, except for some of the mistakes that the Green Bay Packers have made, they've done a pretty good job overall. There's been some penalties that have shot themselves in the foot, but they continue to bring pressure and do a pretty good job against the run. And for Marvin, yes, the penalties, and it's been an ongoing problem all year.
Favre completes to Chapman. Chapman, who played 2 years at the University of Cincinnati, back here, and he gets to the 48 of the Bengals. First half statistics: Packers only had the ball for 22 plays.
Well, that's the Minnesota Vikings, but however, I think that was last week.
Yeah. We apologize for that. Fisher is brought down at the line of scrimmage, maybe short of the line of scrimmage, the 49-yard line. Good tackle by John Thornton, the defensive tackle, number 97. Thornton was one of those players that talked with us, Bill, about the effects of the loss to Pittsburgh and how it really bothered him for a couple of days. And they needed this game to bounce back as they reach the midway point of the season. Crowd urging on the defense on 3rd and a long 3 for Green Bay. Farr throwing deep. He's got Donald Lee. He dropped the ball. Lee had 2 steps on Ifeanyi Ohalete, and it went off his shoulder and incomplete.
Well, through the hands, into the face mask, and then boink-a-bonk. Beautiful, beautiful pattern. And this is some of the things they can do with Donald Lee. They can get him matched up outside. When you take your tight end and displace him all the way outside, look at this formation.
Now they've moved back, set up the punt. Second punt for B.J. Sander. Long kick, bounces at the 1 and goes in the end zone for a touchback. 49-yard punt, but a net of 29 as the Bengals will start from the 20.
Happy anniversary!
There's an exciting new sound in travel. Introducing Ding. Get exclusive low fares sent directly to your desktop. Download it at southwest.com. There's an exciting new sound in travel. Introducing Ding. Get exclusive low fares sent directly to your desktop. Download it at southwest.com.
Wow, that's beautiful. Hey, look at that one. Whoa. I like that one. That was cool.
The all-new 7-passenger Jeep Commander with available command view skylights. It's your world. Take command.
Witches and werewolves, oh, what could it mean? It must be The Simpsons' all-new Halloween. Homer's possessed, and Marge is all bone. Don't open that door. It's a monster.
You told me he was at culinary school.
But nothing will scare you and fill you with dread, like an overweight dad who has just lost his head.
Whoa! The Simpsons Treehouse of Horror. All new Sunday, November 6th, only on Fox.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or of any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
Fox NFL Sunday is sponsored by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 40.
That was Bill Maas driving across the Roebling Bridge, but under the speed limit. Bengals first possession of the second half. Rudy Johnson and Jeremy Johnson in the backfield with Carson Palmer. Hushmanzada in motion. End around. Hushmanzada. Thomas chasing him. Slowed him down. And he's out of bounds. A loss. Good play by Robert Thomas. He forced the loss on the play. Hushmanzada out of bounds at the 17.
And that's called staying home. You know, that's what they call it in coaching, staying home. You don't get caught up on what you see at first. You just do your job, do your responsibility, and stay there. And play it out through the play. Don't try to do more than what you're supposed to do. And Thomas stayed at home, and finally here comes the end around, back to him.
Thomas playing hurt, got banged up last week, shoulder problem. And he has played the entire game. On 2nd and 13, Rudy Johnson behind Anderson. Johnson fighting off tacklers. And he's got a first down. Beautiful run by Rudy Johnson. He's got the most yardage in the league after first contact. 15-yard gain.
Well, I want you to take a look. Remember I told you about the power side? There's Big Willie Anderson. Now, they rarely pull to this side. They rarely get Anderson going upfield. They must have had something going out there for him. There must have been a big bag of candy out there, a promise.
Trick or treat.
Promise of maybe no weigh-in next week. If he's overweight, no fines. Rarely does he pull, but he did a fine job leading that play.
From the 32, 12 carries, 54 yards for Rudy Johnson. Palmer changes the play. The Packers come with a blitz, and Rudy Johnson loses a yard. Nice play on the left side. Aaron Campman and the middle linebacker Nick Barnett combining for the stop.
Jim Bates is doing a nice job of creating run blitzes. Watch Barnett right here. Take a look at what he's going to do and where he ends up. Barnett, hit, scrape, tackle. That's a run blitz. Or it could be a pressure. You don't know what the Bengals are going to do when they're going to hit you with a play action and drop back. And they need to create pressure both on Carson Palmer and also against that big offensive line.
Mike Hawkins is in for Al Harris at left cornerback for the Packers. Palmer with time goes short. Oh, big hit. It knocked it loose. It's incomplete. What a hit by Nick Collins on Chad Johnson. Well, if he was hurting before, he's hurting even more now. That was a huge hit by the free safety, Nick Collins.
Sometimes when you talk, you'll pay for it. And the Packers are making it pay. As a player, as a defensive player, Sam, you go to sleep at night and you dream about hits like that and the timing like that.
Bad sign, cramp in the leg for Al Harris as he goes to the locker room. 3 wide receivers for the Bengals on 3rd and 12. Palmer fires. It's almost intercepted. Dropped by Collins. He had it. He saw wide open spaces, but he didn't hold on, and he holds his head as he heads for the sideline.
Bates is coming up. First of all, look at this. 1, 2, 3 linemen are coming. Okay, it's a 3-man rush. That's the first off. Then they create a wrinkle and they bring a blitz along with the rush, where you don't know where the 4th person is coming from. It created a problem in the blitz pickup, and it also had more people down in the secondary.
That would have been a huge interception had Collins held on. Good punt by Kyle Larson. Chapman back to the 15. Picks up a block and another. Stays in bounds, reverses his field, bad decision, lost a couple of yards there. 55-yard punt, 5-yard return. Packers start from their own 20 when we come back.
Some beers are big on flavor. Some beers are easy to drink. But until now, no beer has offered it all. Budweiser Select starts with hand-picked American and Bavarian hops. Budweiser Select is brewed longer for a bold taste that finishes clean. With Budweiser Select, it all comes together. Expect everything.
Good improvement.
Thank you, doctor.
Cholesterol's down. Well done.
Great. Hello, doctor's office.
And I gotta tell you, nice job.
Mr. Decker?
I told you we'd get it down.
Yep, even doctors can have high cholesterol. When diet and exercise aren't enough, adding Lipitor can lower your bad cholesterol from 39 to 60%. In fact, more cardiologists surveyed said they'd prescribe Lipitor for their own family members than any other cholesterol brand. Lipitor is one of many cholesterol-lowering treatment options in addition to diet and exercise that you and your doctor can consider. Lipitor is not for everyone, including people with liver problems and women who are nursing, pregnant, or who may become pregnant. Simple blood tests are needed to check for liver problems. Tell your doctor about other medications you are taking or if you experience muscle pain or weakness, as these may be signs of a rare but serious side effect. Ask your doctor about Lipitor today.
Vote now at NFL.com for this year's Pro Bowl team and help decide who'll be playing in Hawaii. Plus a chance to win a trip to the game in the 2006 NFL Pro Bowl sweepstakes at NFL.com.
Fox NFL Sunday is sponsored by Budweiser Select. Finally, bold taste meets a clean finish. Expect everything.
No takeaways by the Packers. They almost had one by Nick Collins. Third down, they haven't done a good job on, Bill.
No, but they just did right there, and they got off the field and they got the ball back. But pressure-wise, they created something.
Tony Fisher, good run up to the 32, picks up 12, first down.
And you can see they've created enough problems that the Bengals on offense are starting to stutter a little bit. Just sputter. Before the half, it wasn't good. They come out here again, and they're almost an interception. People getting whacked around. You know, that stop before half by the Green Bay Packers and keeping them off the field with no points and going into halftime. I said if the Bengals scored, that would really kind of drive a nail in the coffin. The Packers have momentum since going into the locker room with that big stop.
Kevin Barry is in as an eligible tight end to the right side. The play fake, the blitz coming, they pick it up, Favre throws, and he's got Donald Driver. Driver down the 40-yard line. Torrey James makes the stop, 28-yard gain on the play.
Do I have something to show you, Sam? This is outstanding. Tony Fisher blocks 2 blitzers. Fisher is going to be right here. That's Tony Fisher. Here comes the blitzers over here. Watch this. He blocks both of them. One player blocks 2 blitzers. That should never happen on an overload blitz. That's why you blitz more people than you have protected. He blocked 2. Favre's free. There's an opening downfield.
Your guy is in. Simcon Gatto, signed from the practice squad, making his NFL debut. End around to Donald Driver. Gets around Torrey James and is out of bounds inside the third row. It's at the 31, just short of the first down line. Pickup of 9 on the play. Donald Driver, I think, has gotten overshadowed the last couple of years, but last year really blossomed. He and Javon Walker made a great tandem at wide receiver. Now with Walker out, Driver's the key man. He's done a terrific job. Fisher and Leach in the backfield for the Packers. On the move, 2nd and 1. It's Fisher behind Clem and a first down as he picks up 5. He's rushed 11 times for 40 yards in the game.
You know, the cement's starting to dry a little bit on that front wall, if you will, of the Green Bay Packers. You know, each time I've seen them, and I covered them in the preseason, and they were trying to find an identity with their offensive line. They had William Whitaker in there, and they had Adrian Clem, and a host of other guards. They were trying to find some way to build back up what they had. But as the games continue to go by, this group is getting better.
Toss to Fisher. Turns the corner, rams into Casebaharn, and then is taken down by Landon Johnson at the 23-yard line.
Yeah, I just talked about those guys, those guards. Watch Clem. Clem is going to be right here, you know? And Flanagan's back in the middle, and that helps. But watch Clem get upfield and watch him get the seal. You see that? He's got the linebackers. Now look at that wall. They couldn't quite get outside into that alley, but you can see them creating things. Every now and then, the defense is going to make a play, but this group is getting better.
2 tight ends, Lee and Franks. 2nd and 8 for the Packers. Short drop, Favre throws, looking for Driver. Was it intercepted? Yes! Deltha O'Neal with his 5th interception of the season.
Touchback because his momentum carried him into the end zone.
But a bad throw by Brett Favre. That was a bad one. And O'Neal, 2nd in the league with 4 interceptions, gets number 5 with a diving effort.
And Cincinnati needed that to get momentum back on that side because they haven't been playing well for half.
Three climate zones.
How's he doing back there?
3 rows of seats. So everyone can travel in comfort.
He's fine.
The all-new 7-passenger Jeep Commander. It's your world. Take command.
Some secrets should never be discovered. Some games
Meteor shower. Thank you, Base
should never be played. On November 11th, they'll do whatever it takes.
Where's Lisa?
Lisa is upstairs.
To get back home.
Gotta keep playing. I'm gonna win this thing.
That was pretty intense.
Zathura.
The house looks fantastic.
Rated PG.
Can I go out with your sister? No. How about now?
Surrender to the mesmerizing taste of Wendy's Bacon Mushroom Melt.
Okay.
A big bacon cheeseburger made fresh, smothered in mushrooms and a creamy, dreamy cheddar cheese sauce.
You want to go out sometime?
Ew.
How about now?
Do Wendy's. Do what tastes right.
He broke into prison to save his brother's life.
Do whatever you gotta do to get us out of here.
Fox tomorrow, the season's breakout hit.
My son's out there with a bullseye on his back.
They're here. Oh, God!
Takes a turn that no one is expecting. Prison Break, a special encore followed by an all-new episode tomorrow on Fox. Viewer discretion advised.
Marvin wanted to talk to the officials out there because they've spotted the ball at about the 1.5 yard line. And it's called
interception. The receiver possessed the ball in the field of play. His momentum carried him into the end zone. Cincinnati ball, first down, 2 yard line.
Well, his momentum carried him into the end zone. Normally, Sam, would be a touchback that would put him back to the 20-yard line. But because Donald Driver had his hand on him while the player was down with possession, okay, that's what turned it over.
So the Packers' last 3 possessions have been interception, punt, interception from the end zone. Palmer throwing deep, and that ball is caught. A tremendous catch by Chad Johnson, and he's shaken up. Chad Johnson going one-on-one with Ahmad Carroll. A great catch. He gets up with the helmet off. 38-yard gain on the play.
Chad Johnson runs this down. And again, Ahmad Carroll has contact with his hands on the receiver before the ball gets there.
The catch is good and the interference waved off.
Chad Johnson ran that ball down. That ball was thrown out there, and at first it looked like it was going to be overthrown, but he went and ran that ball down. You hear the term kick it into another gear. Whatever it takes to get to that ball is what he gave you. And I'll tell you, you can say what you want about him, but he's shown some toughness today.
5 catches, 62 yards. Carson Palmer on first down. Rudy Johnson slipped 1 tackle, and then he is hit hard by Colin Cole, the first-year man out of Iowa, number 90. Chad Johnson coming back into the game. He has taken some big hits in this game, but what a play he made on that last pass by Carson Palmer.
And he's, you know, he's showing me a lot about what everybody in the organization says about him. He said, they say this, nobody works harder on the team than this kid, and he has a dogged determination to compete.
Al Harris still out for Green Bay. Hawkins is the left cornerback. They swing it out to Rudy Johnson. Nice tackle by Nick Barnett, the middle linebacker, as he dropped Rudy Johnson just short of the 40-yard line. May have been a loss on the play of a yard. Chris Perry is coming in to replace Rudy Johnson.
Carson Palmer, watch this. This is a young quarterback growing up. I'm going to watch him here. He's going to be looking for Chad Johnson right here. See him look? He looks, but he knows that his backup check-down receiver is behind him without ever having to look there. That's knowing what everybody on the field is doing.
3rd and 10. Palmer throws, sliding attempt, but it's incomplete. Pass intended for Chad Johnson. And a couple of Packers, Mark Roman and Marviel Underwood, were there covering. So the long pass out of the end zone got them out of trouble, but they could not continue the drive.
Well, this is it right here. It's down low and just a little bit too low. There was a lot of traffic out there, and, you know, and the ball was thrown trying to get to a spot on the field, in the middle of the field, where 1, Chad Johnson wouldn't take another huge blow in the middle, and 2, that only he could catch. It was just too low.
Kyle Larson's 3rd punt. Antonio Chapman from the 11. Gets around 1 man, tiptoes the sideline, goes out of bounds. Short of the 30-yard line. They mark it at the 22. So far, the difference in the game, the touchdown pass from Palmer to Hushmanzada.
Starts out cold, ends up refreshing. Coors Light, official beer sponsor of the NFL.
You've been practicing for this your entire life. The Chrysler Town & Country with Stow & Go seating and storage.
You know how you like to be everywhere I am? Now you can be.
With Family Talk from Singular. Add a line for just $9.99 and get exclusive phones like the Black Razor and Rocker with iTunes. Singular, raising the bar.
Fox NFL Sunday is sponsored by Chrysler. Inspiration comes standard. By Wendy's Bacon Mushroom Melt. Do what tastes right. By Zathura in theaters November 11th. And by Lowe's, where improving home improvement never ends.
Packers start from the 22. The rookie Samkon Gatto is in the backfield. His first carry in the NFL. He's got pretty good speed, and he forces his way across the 30. Samkon Gatto, a rookie out of Liberty, was in training camp with Kansas City and was on their practice squad before the Packers got him. Chad Johnson with one of the officials.
And he's got the right one too. He's got the back judge. The back judge is the one who's going to be looking at him.
On 2nd and 2, almost a mix-up in the backfield, but Tony Fisher turns it into a nice gain up to the 38 for a first down. He picked up 8 on the play. Almost was a bump in the backfield. But Fisher, who had laser surgery on his eye at the beginning of the week, Bill. He had problems. He got hit in the game in Minnesota, had laser surgery, playing with a visor, but he's okay. 13 carries, 51 yards, 1 touchdown. 2 tight ends in, Franks and Lee. Chapman in motion. Favre throws short and completes it to the tight end Bubba Franks. Up to the 49-yard line, a first down. Picks up 11. Let's go to the sideline to Jay Glazer.
Hey guys, you just saw Bubba Franks catch a pass from Brett Favre. Well, that's not the most important catch that he's had. Last year at the end of the season, Bubba caught one of Favre's last touchdowns of the year, and he actually autographed it, sent it back to Brett with the, pretty much the message of, hey, I hope this isn't the last one that I'm going to be autographing for you. Let's make sure you come back. Brett said he had to sit and look at that all offseason long.
Oh, Brett throws an interception. Deltha O'Neal with his second of the game. O'Neal's brought down at the Green Bay 42-yard line. 6 on the season for Deltha O'Neal. He had 3 against Minnesota in week 2. He has 2 today as Favre forced that pass.
Well, it looked like a bad throw, but what you have to remember is he has new receivers out there all the time. That was Donald Driver, but the ball to me looked like it was just thrown behind Donald.
So where do we go from here? Furniture?
You know what the best part is?
What?
Magic fingers. You'll love it.
Cool. Frivolous.
So who's the pinball wizard?
Cool. Frivolous.
Cool.
Frivolous. Frivolous.
Okay, it's your phone, your video, your data, everything. And you'll save a boatload of cash.
Cool.
Ingenuity, powered by Cisco.
So I was talking with my broker the other day. It was the usual small talk, How's the kids, how's the family, all that. And then it dawned on me. When you think about all the years I've been paying those big commissions on everything we bought and sold, were we really discussing my kid's future or his kid's future?
doesn't stand still, and neither do we. That's why so many people come to Lowe's for designer lighting and fans. Not because we have the widest selection, which we have, or because our prices are so low the latest styles are now within everyone's reach, or because nobody works harder to save you money every day, which Lowe's promises to do. You see, at Lowe's, improving home improvement never ends.
Prepare for the sequel to the best-selling Star Wars game of all time. Fight as a Jedi. Fight in space. Fight the battles any way you want. Star Wars Battlefront 2 on Tuesday. You fight again. Rated teen.
Opportunistic defense by the Cincinnati Bengals. Don't forget Game 2, Eagles at the Broncos. Bengals lead the NFL in takeaways. They now have 26. In interceptions, they now have 18. And in turnover differential, they're plus 19. On first down, the Packers stand up and throw Rudy Johnson back. No gain on the play. Colin Cole, the 325-pound tackle, leading the way.
You know, the secondary for the Cincinnati Bengals is really where they get all the turnovers. That's where they get those guys. And they're not, however, the best tackling guys out there, but they are guys that have great ball skill.
Second and 10 at the Green Bay 42-yard line. Palmer puts it up deep, looking for Henry. Beautiful catch. And he is no, it's ruled out of bounds. He was out of bounds. Henry went up with a nice grab against Ahmad Carroll, but he came down out of bounds.
Left foot. Left foot. It looked like he went up to get the ball, and when he came down, Sam, it looked like he tugged both of them out, but watch the left foot. No, the right foot.
One, yeah.
The right one. I saw the one got down, but the other one was just right there, so close. And then, you know, the side judge and the back judge, they do such a good job. Yes. The linesman and the back judge, I'm sorry, do such a good job of monitoring. One has the feet, one has possession.
Third and 10 at the Packers 42. Palmer with time, throws to the sideline, incomplete again, intended for Chad Johnson. Nick Collins covering on the play, good coverage. And so, for the second time, the Bengals fail to capitalize. Third time they fail to capitalize on the turnover.
You know, I think that the Bengals and Carson Palmer are getting a little impatient. Okay? A lot of the shots they're taking, Sam, are they're trying to hit the home runs and get over the top. They were working this team before by a good steady dose of a run and a lot of check down underneath.
Kyle Larson's punt. Chapman goes over, takes it at the 8, heads upfield with room, and then gets out of bounds at around the 28 or 29-yard line. 34-yard punt, 17-yard return, and an injury. Reggie Miles limping off on one foot for... There's Reggie. He got knocked down, came up limping. Miles hurting.
See that kid? The one dreaming of serving his country? That jarhead is me.
We're going to war. You will train, you will hydrate, and you will maintain a state of suspicious alertness.
God, show me the way because the devil's trying to break me down.
Oh, I love this job.
Ooh, Jarhead, rated R, starts Friday.
It's jammed or something.
What are you doing?
Step back.
Please.
What are you doing in my car?
Want to get away? Now you can. Just go to Southwest.com for Southwest Airlines' $39 to $149 internet specials to 60 destinations coast to coast. Purchase by October 31st.
You are now free to move about the country.
Dad.
Hey, buddy.
Could you read me a story? Football.
That's okay. I can freeze time.
Whoa.
The DirecTV DVR, the most magical thing to ever happen to TV.
Finally, an easy-to-use DVR that gives you the power to pause and rewind live TV, so you'll never miss a second of what's important to you.
Somebody up there loves you. DirecTV.
Sign up and get a DirecTV DVR free. Call 1-800-DirecTV.
Packers have turned the ball over 3 times, 3 interceptions. That was a tip ball and an alert play by Odell Thurman. But here are a couple of bad throws by Brett Favre. Delco Neal getting the last 2 interceptions off the play fake in the roll. Favre stepped away from Carl Powell. Powell chasing him. Favre is hit as he throws, and the pass is intercepted. Intercepted by Torrey James. The last 5 Packer possessions, 4 of them have ended in interceptions.
And Brett Favre is getting up awful slow. I told you, he is the pass protection on a lot of the plays. He moves, he runs around, he scrambles. This is a great job, an outstanding job by Torrey James of staying with your receiver when the quarterback is scrambling. Let your linemen, let your linebackers, let them continue the pursuit. That's their job. That's what they get paid for. Don't be peeking back to see what the quarterback's doing.
Torrey James' 4th interception of the season. Landon Johnson had the hit on Brett Favre, and Favre with a season-high 4 interceptions in a game. On first down, Palmer throws. Wide open, Hushmanzada at midfield. Nick Collins takes him down. Forward progress right at the midfield line.
Ball skills. Did you see Torrey James? Ball skills. That's what it's about. All season long, this defensive secondary has come up with some big interceptions, key interceptions of some big-name quarterbacks. And it's been that way since the first game this season. Not a lot of pressure up front. You look at the numbers right there, the best in the NFL. Not a lot of pressure, not a lot of sacks. But when that ball's in the air, these DBs are ball hawks.
Al Harris back at cornerback for the Packers. Rudy Johnson straight ahead for about 2 yards before he is knocked back. Corey Williams, number 99, was there along with Nick Barnett, the middle linebacker. There's Torrey James picking off his 4th of the season. He had 8 interceptions last year when he was 2nd in the NFL. 3 of the last 4 passes thrown by Brett Favre have been intercepted. The Bengals in Packers territory. They haven't put points on the board. Usually they're very good at putting points on the board after turnovers. Straight ahead, Rudy Johnson to the 45, and just across the 45.
That's a heck of a lot of credit goes to the Green Bay Packers for that. Turning the ball over and your defense is sitting on the sideline, sucking on oxygen, drinking Gatorade, and you have to come storming off the bench, slapping your helmet on, buttoning up your chin strap, trying to go out there and stop momentum. That's a tough thing to do.
We've reached the end of the 3rd quarter. Despite the 4 turnovers, the Packers are still in it. The Bengals lead the Packers 14-7. Back to Cincinnati right after these messages.
You're watching the NFL on Fox.
When Cousin Subs asked me to talk about their subs, the ad agency had some pretty strange ideas. I am not getting in that thing. I can't say that word on TV. This somebody's foul joke? Let's be serious, because Cousins is a serious sub. Look at these guys. They're huge, and that bread, baked fresh right in the store and piled high with the finest meats and cheeses. Cousins is the best, so let's be serious. Cousins subs. Better bread, better...
At Menards, we provide the best service and quality products. Put in a new floor with Aqua Tough Fiber Rock underlayment. It's fiber reinforced, only a 1/4 inch thick, and great under any type of flooring in wet or dry areas. Starting at $5.99. Diamond plate laminate flooring from Columbia is also on sale. It's easy to install and has a lifetime warranty, only $249 per square foot. Plus, there's no interest, no payments till summer with your big card.
Save big money at Menards.
The Fox 6 investigators. They've got questions. They've got cameras. And they're not afraid to use.
We're down right by the river, and the steamships are right on the Ohio River. It's a nice sound. Sam Rosen, Bill Maas, Jay Glazer, Paul Brown Stadium. We start the fourth quarter. Bengals are 7 for 11 on third down conversion. Palmer hit as he throws. It's incomplete. Nick Collins gets up, but the ruling is incomplete. Good pressure that time.
Nick knows it was
Palmer.
incomplete. He was just so disappointed about the prior almost interception he had. He's been around the ball all afternoon trying to get it back to his offense.
And here again, Bengals with the turnover fail to put any points on the board.
And yeah, they have been failing to do that. But come on, let's credit also the Green Bay Packers defense.
You're right.
You have to give this bunch credit.
Larson has punted well. This is number 5 of the game. The short one, there's a flag on the play. They got a piece of it, but they also knocked him down. Let's see. If it's roughing the passer, it'll be a first down. If it's running into the kicker, I said passer, my apologies.
Punter.
Holding. Kicking team number 86.
All right, so it's against Cincinnati. Not running into the kicker.
Number 86. Penalties decline. Green Bay keeps the ball.
So Packers take the short punt of 22 yards. And they've got to get something going offensively. They're in this game despite 4 turnovers. Their only touchdown, Tony Fisher took it in.
If you could build your own SUV, you'd include innovations that make it safer for everyone, that make it as quiet and comfortable as a luxury car, that make it more powerful, but use less fuel. You'd build the 2006 Explorer, the best Explorer ever.
Ford product engineers work hard. Anybody can see that. Since they need to be with the cars, we took out their desk phones and extended the workplace with Sprint Business. It's helping us shorten the time from concept to showroom, and it's easy to reach them. Dan?
Dan's gonna have to call you back.
By saying yes to working from anywhere, we're building more new products faster.
With Sprint Business, you can make just about any place a workplace. Yes, you can.
Fox NFL Sunday is sponsored by Sprint Business. Sprint Business, yes you can. By DirecTV, get DirecTV DVR and record your favorite shows with the touch of a button. By Rocky Mountain Refreshing Coors Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL and Super Bowl 40. And by the new 2006 Ford Explorer, the best Explorer ever.
Tony Fisher, loss on the play. Brett Favre has the dubious distinction of tying a career high of 4 interceptions thrown in a game. It's the 5th time he's done that in his career. That's not one he wants to know about.
No, it isn't. And a lot of those other times it happened in his career, it was about the same time that his team was similar to what it is now, when he was younger. And the Green Bay Packers were trying to turn a corner, 92 and 93 and even 94. You know, that's when he was trying to do everything himself. Well, right now with all the injuries and the state of this team, it's back to everything he does.
2 tight ends in out of the shotgun. Pass complete to Donald Lee. Lee up to the 30-yard line. Time for an update. For that, we go to our man, JB. Take it away, JB.
Hey, Sam, the man on his drive was actually Jeff Garcia, who took a wicked hit for the Lions. That inspired Kevin Jones, who goes across for a 6-yard TD run. First rushing touchdown allowed by the Bears. And it is now 13-10 Bears. Back to our guy, Sam Rosen and Bill Maas.
Thanks, JB. That game for first place in the NFC North. Here's a big 3rd down play for the Packers. Favre throws and it's intercepted. Odell Thurman. A tip pass And another interception thrown by Brett Favre, the 5th he's thrown in the game.
You're not going to believe this, but the ball was Delta O'Neal's. The ball hit Delta O'Neal. Take a look at this. And Delta O'Neal thought it went to the ground. It hits his hands, and Thurman comes up with his 2nd interception today, just exactly like that.
On a tip.
First off the tip by the defensive lineman, Brian Robinson, now off of Delta O'Neal. It hit Delta O'Neal right in the hands helmet. It came off his, ricocheted off his body, and he thought the play was over. And here comes Odell.
3rd game this season that the Bengals have had 5 picks. They had 5 against Minnesota, 5 against Chicago, and 5 against Green Bay, all NFC teams. Palmer throws, completes, Jeremy Johnson, touchdown! The fullback out of the backfield. The Bengals put points on the board after the turnover. And they have widened the lead. Carson Palmer's 3rd touchdown pass of the game. The young star.
Look at the secondary of the Packers. Look, they're all looking at each other. Who was that? I was covering Johnson. I was covering Hushmanzada. Who the heck was that? Jeremy Johnson. You don't expect 275-pound Jeremy Johnson to come out of the backfield and stretch the middle of the field right down the seam.
3rd touchdown reception of the season for the fullback, Jeremy Johnson.
Boy, that caught them off guard.
Shane Graham, the extra point. The Cincinnati Bengals, who lead the NFL with points off of turnover, finally get one on their 5th turnover. They get 7. Palmer, 3 touchdown passes. He leads the NFL with 16. Bengals lead by 14.
Great beer. Smooth, clean, cold, refreshment. The Coors, it all starts up here. Way up here.
Rocky Mountain High, Colorado.
Tuesday. Bring home the year's biggest movie on DVD, Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. Packed with over 6 hours of bonus features, including 6 deleted scenes and an all-new documentary. Buy Star Wars Episode 3 on DVD Tuesday.
It's the strongest, most innovative full-size pickup, and the only one to earn both government 5-star and IIHS Best Pick Front Crash ratings.
You can get it on eBay.
Well, there's Jeremy Johnson, who caught the pass for the touchdown. But the story has been Brett Favre. The last 4 Packer possessions have ended with interceptions thrown by Brett Favre. 5 of the last 6 possessions have ended with interceptions. Shane Graham, good kick. Rashard Lee faking the handoff. Nice return by Lee, got tripped up and finally gets taken down by Greg Brooks. Up at the 34-yard line, 30-yard return.
You know, for the Packers, they're sitting on the bench, Sam. The defense is sitting on the bench. They're just going over their adjustments from the last series, and their helmets are off. They're talking to the coaches. Some guys are wiping their face or hands off, and they have to come out on the field right away. And you jump back out there in the field, and you get a quick defensive call, and bang, they strike you with something you haven't seen all day.
This is Tony Fisher with a couple of blockers trying to get outside. Gets up to the 35, maybe the 36. Carl Powell made the tackle, if you're just joining us. Brett Favre has thrown 5 interceptions, a career high, or maybe better, a career low. Carson Palmer has taken over the NFL lead from Brett Favre with 3 touchdown passes, giving him 16 on the season. Deltha O'Neal has 2 of the interceptions, and the Bengals, who lead the NFL in takeaways, have 5. Packers have no takeaways in the game. Off the play fake, Favre rolling, dumps it off to Bubba Franks, and Franks gets up to the 44-yard line, very close to the first down line.
You know, and you talk about the interceptions with Brett today, but look at it's him. Everything that's happening is him. Look at this. First, here's your pressure. Carl Powell comes right around William Whitaker. There's your pressure. Flushes him out of the pocket. He's scrambling to buy time and then dumps it off when he finds someone finally get open. This season for him, Sam, has been like the Babe Ruth. You're either hitting something big when she came into this game leading the NFL in touchdown passes, or they're hitting you.
And with that completion, he has moved ahead of John Elway into second place all-time in passing yardage. Here he throws deep and overthrows Bubba Franks. Brett Favre is now second all-time in passing yardage. Only Dan Marino has thrown for more yardage in NFL history. He is also second all-time in pass attempts behind Dan Marino. And you see the touchdowns, that has stayed the same. Only Dan Marino has thrown more than Brett Favre.
And he'll be the first to tell you?
Doesn't matter with this game.
No, he'll tell you that too, but he'll be the first to tell you, I don't belong with all those names. And that's the way he thinks of himself, and that's the way he plays the game.
On 2nd and 10, but he wants to win. That draw play doesn't get anything, loses a couple. Good job by the Bengals up front, led by Carl Powell. Powell, inserted in the game not too long ago, has made a difference. He's gotten pressure on the quarterback, and he's made a couple of good tackles. He's rotated in, along with Dwayne Clemens. Powell here goes off. He's done a good job. 3rd and long for the Packers. They have to get to the Bengals 46 for a first down. There's plenty of time for the Pack to get back in it, but they can't make mistakes. And a bad snap. Fisher trying to control the ball, does, but the loss all the way back to the 26-yard line. Wow.
Well, here's what happened. When the crowd noise gets very, very loud, Flanagan, the center, who's been a long time, Wells is center. Wells is in there right now. This is Wells in there because Flanny's out. He's been injured a little bit. Flanagan and Favre have a relationship with what happens with crowd noise. Wells has snapped it early. He snapped it early this week, and it just cost him there tonight.
E.J. Sander with the punt. On the return, Kewan Ratliff looking for an opening. Packers have it well covered. RVL Underwood down there to make the tackle. 42-yard punt, 2-yard return. Things just going all wrong for Green Bay.
There's a party going on and you're wondering, what's the occasion? Monopoly is back at McDonald's, and we're the unofficial fan club. Everyone thinks I'm psychic, but since every Best Buy chance piece is guaranteed at least 1 Best Buy buck, and you've got a 1 in 3 chance to win 3 Best Buy bucks, you don't need to have special powers. Just go to McDonald's. The more you play, the more Best Buy bucks you win, and the more awesome products you can get. Now that's a reason to celebrate. So, who's up for McDonald's?
So when does everything have to be shipped to New York? Wednesday. Yeah, this is big for our company. I mean, this is like our Super Bowl.
You know, I was in a few Super Bowl games, but as I recall, it didn't have anything to do with sending a package. You should just go with FedEx Ground. It's reliable and a great value.
FedEx Ground. Reliability for less than you think.
Okay, Trevor, let me explain the matrix one more time. The blue yarn applies to transportation expenses. The green is office supplies, and the red is inventory.
So, how do you add up each category?
Trevor, the matrix is not perfect.
There's an easier way to track your expenses. Get the Visa Business Card. Use it for all your business needs and get one detailed statement every month.
We should never speak of this.
Visa Business. It's everywhere you want your business to be.
The Simpsons Treehouse of Horror is coming.
Call work and tell him he can't make it.
Suckers. All new 1 week from tonight, only on Fox.
Fox NFL Sunday is sponsored by Visa, proud sponsor of the NFL.
Wells is in for Flanny because of Flanagan's hernia, and Brett was in shotgun. The crowd noise picked up, and Brett stepped up to the line of scrimmage, possibly to change a play or audible to something different. And with all the noise, Wells snapped it, thinking he was still in shotgun.
Palmer checking off at the line. He's got Chris Perry and Jeremy Johnson in the backfield. Looking to set up the screen to Perry. Out by himself. And Roman pulls him out of bounds. Up at the 43. Pickup of 9 on the play. 5 catches in the game for Chris Perry, who came in second in the league with 32. Brian Westbrook of the Eagles with 35. Speaking of the Eagles, they're next on Fox. Coming up, second game of the doubleheader, the Eagles and the Broncos in Denver. Jeremy Johnson and Rudy Johnson in the backfield with Carson Palmer. Bengals trying to put this game away with a good drive. Make the end around. Rudy Johnson straight ahead, barrels his way up near midfield.
Oof! And look who's on. When your middle linebacker is on your back, and the running back is on top of him, and it's a gain of 6 yards for a first down. That's not a good thing. Here's Barnett, and he's going to take the brunt of this blow. You know, in this game, sometimes you're the hammer and sometimes you're the nail. Right there, Barnett was the nail. Oh.
Ball at midfield. Kelly Washington in as a third receiver, splitting out far left. First down for the Bengals. 3 wideouts in. Rudy Johnson still fighting, and Colin Cole, a big tackle, finally shoves him back. On the bottom, Aaron Campman and Bajabiamila. Rudy Johnson, 19 carries, 67 yards.
You know, Rudy, to me, as I see him, and I showed you a couple of plays, sometimes he's such a big, powerful guy, he just lowers his head and runs downhill. He's heading this way, but watch where the hole is, you know, on the backside. Sometimes he's just so big and powerful and running downhill. If he used his vision, to me, a little bit more, there'd be a lot more yardage there.
Palmer, short drop, throwing deep. One-on-one battle, and is that picked off? It is, no. It's ruled down. It's an interception by Ahmad Carroll. Beautiful pick by Ahmad Carroll. First turnover of the game for the Cincinnati Bengals. Ahmad Carroll with a good play as he covered Hushman Zada. Came up with a pick. He was down right there.
When we built the new Explorer, we were thinking about wide open spaces. So we included innovations that make the interior as quiet as a luxury car, and second and third row seats that fold flat. The 2006 Explorer, the best Explorer ever.
I want to play a game.
Who's testing us?
How do you know all this?
Because I've played before.
Let the game begin. Saw 2, rated R. Now playing in theaters everywhere.
Introducing Taco Bell's new Steak or Chicken Nachos Bel Grande. Grilled authentic carne asada steak or marinated all white meat chicken give Nachos Bel Grande that great flavor of the grill. For great grilled taste, think outside the bun.
Be a part of TV's best night of drama, the new Fox Tuesday. First, she can solve a murder.
There's a woman here. She's missing her heart.
Just by looking at the bones.
We don't just have a killer on our hands. We have a cannibal.
Based on the real-life story of forensic anthropologist Kathy Reichs. Bones. Then, when a doctor becomes a patient, can House save him from himself?
Take the pills, or I'll let you die.
An all-new House. It all starts at 8/7 Central on the new Fox Tuesday. Don't miss.
Torn
Torrent has more horsepower than BMW X3 2.5, more stars than Ford Escape, more passenger room than Jeep Liberty, and more looks than all of them combined. The first ever Pontiac Torrent, now with Pontiac's total value promise. Get more without paying more.
The first ever Torrent starts at $21,990 after available cash back. See your select Pontiac dealer.
The Steelers game, second largest crowd in Paul Brown Stadium history, 65,940 here today. Favre on first down, puts it up and connects with Antonio Chapman, who steps out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Chapman played a couple of years of junior college before going to Cincinnati for 2 years. 13-yard pickup on the play.
Sometimes you have to take advantage of your opportunities. Wally Pipp story. If you get in there, Scotty Wells is in there. You got to take advantage of your opportunities. Get something done. He had the bad snap, cost him the turnover, and then now Flanagan's forced to go back out there and battle more.
Favre with time deep and overthrows Chapman. He was covered by Torrey James on the play. Let's go to Jay Glazer. Where are you, Jay?
Guys, I'm on the Bengals sideline. Last week, Mike Flanagan told me he was rushing himself to get back in from that sports hernia surgery. It's the same injury that Donovan McNabb has. They said there's a 6 to 8 week timetable. He said, no, I've got to get back in there for Brett. Obviously, he misses me. I have the longevity with Favre. I've got to get myself back into him. Back to you guys.
Well, he's in. They took him out for a brief rest, and
actually, it
could have been costly.
What he told Jay was only half the story. He actually said, tell Donovan to just go ahead and get the surgery done. It doesn't take that long.
Favre to Chapman, gets across the 30 to the 31. It'll bring up a 3rd and 3. Ryan Simmons and Torrey James on the coverage.
I'll tell you, our little buddy Jake Glazer, he's everywhere.
Mr. Scoopage?
No, seriously, he's like the NFL's mole. He's in, he's out, he's around. He'll pop up anywhere. Oh, where's Glees?
I like there was Brett Favre and there was Chad Johnson, and right in the middle of it was Jay Glazer.
You never know where the guy's going to appear.
Crowd urging on the Bengals defense. Favre puts it up and complete to Chapman. And Chapman's out of bounds at midfield. So suddenly Favre and Chapman becoming a connection here. 19-yard pickup.
Why? Because Chapman's had the one-on-one. If you look at this receiving core of the Green Bay Packers, the go-to guy is Donald Driver.
Right.
And if you are defending them, you know that you're going to have to roll coverage to him, take him away, and make everybody else fend for themselves. But Chapman's stepping up on the one-to-one, man-to-man, and he's beating it.
Packers on the move. Chapman 6 catches, 67 yards. Favre to Driver. Nice play by Driver, reaching behind him to catch him at his hip. And then gets down to the 47-yard line. Short pickup of 3. Landon Johnson made the tackle for Chapman. A career-high day with 6 catches. He's a little guy, but he's become very, very important. Robert Ferguson, his injury with the LCL to his knee occurred last week. Expected to be a 2 to 4 week injury. He's been out 1 week. He's trying to get back sooner. 2 tight ends in. Favre fires, completes to Bubba Franks. Big day for Bubba Franks. Becoming the 3rd tight end in Packers history to go over 200 receptions. Paul Kaufman and Ed West, the others.
Yeah.
Remember those names?
Heck yeah, Paul Kaufman, old Hog Kaufman, one of my good buddies. And Eddie West I played with up there in Green Bay.
Favre hooking up for the different receivers. This time he hands to Fisher, a little cutback. It's down about the 32. Let's check out what's happening in Dallas. JB, tell us about it.
Well, Cowboys looking to make it 14 straight regular season wins at home against the Cardinals. Josh McCown underthrows this one, picked off by Anthony Henry. He takes it how far, TB? 58 yards back to pay dirt. And the Cowboys trying to make sure this is not a close one, on top 34-13. That in the fourth back. Just saying.
Thanks, JB. The Giants are leading big over Washington. Philadelphia plays later in Denver. That one all was picked off by Torrey James as he stepped in front of the intended receiver, Antonio Chapman.
The one thing that defensive backs for the Cincinnati Bengals are so good at, watch Torrey James. You see him play the ball and cover his man at the same time? That's one of the hardest things to do in the NFL, because staying with your guy is such a challenge. Then going up and after a ball when it's in the air, not many can do it. I think Deltha O'Neal and Torrey James are two of the best in the league.
3rd and long, 2 tight ends, 2 wideouts, the blitz coming, the pass caught by Donald Driver, and he's down at the 15-yard line, a first down for the Packers. Oh, how about Favre hanging in there with a blitz coming and finding Driver. 16-yard gain on the play.
And buying time as well. And at the top of the screen is where you're going to see Donald Driver. But look at the cushion you're going to get right here. Watch that. See that? That's running, that's bailing out and giving Donald Driver too much room. Then he runs a 15-yard dig, the little in, and Deltha O'Neal can't close on it in time from playing that far off.
From the 16, Favre, nobody open, looking, hit, throws, incomplete. Ifeanyi Ohalete looking for an interception. Bubba Franks had it bounce at his feet, and John Thornton hit Brett Favre as he released. No sacks on Favre, but he's been hit.
Favre has been getting hit since the preseason. And he's trying to buy himself time. He's trying to buy his receivers time to get open. And quite frankly, the offensive line has not been up to the par that he's used to playing with. And he's been taking a lot of hits this year. And we're only at week 8.
2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers, and Fisher is split out. Here's Driver in motion. Favre looks, throws short. Bubba Franks at the 13. Close to the 12-yard line, where he's brought down by Deltha O'Neal. Bring up a 3rd and long.
Bubba's been big in his return. Very big, you know.
He's reliable. I mean, Brett knows he can count on Bubba Franks.
Anywhere. And normally when they get down in this part of the field, inside the 15-yard line, that's Bubba Franks territory. That's the Bubba zone.
No sacks, but hits. You see that number 5. They're on their feet here at Paul Brown Stadium, urging on the defense. Packers have to get to the 6-yard line for a first down. Favre throws to Chapman. Did he hold on? Yes, he did at the 1-yard line. What a grab by Antonio Chapman. Oh, is he having a game? The little man out of the University of Cincinnati.
And he was getting all the way down, Sam. He was getting wrestled for the ball. Torrey James was over there, and you're gonna watch this. Kevin Casemahorn, see the wrestle job, wrestling for the ball?
Kevin Barry is ineligible. 1st and goal at the 1. Favre's gonna put it up. Touchdown, Bubba Franks.
Bubba zone.
It's been a good day for Bubba Franks. Hannibal Davies didn't want to let go as he wrestled with Bubba Franks for the ball. Franks holds on. The Packers with a tremendous drive from their own 12-yard line.
And yes, somebody has to catch passes, but it's been all Brett Favre. And that's when, for this season, Sam, it's the Babe Ruth comparison. It's been home runs or it's been strikeouts. And when that's all you really have to work with, you don't have a running game like you used to have in the past to hang your hat on. So you mix and match a couple runs here and there. But it's been all Brett Favre all year long.
13 plays, 88 yards. Longwell's extra point is good. First touchdown reception of the season for Bubba Franks. And for Brett Favre, his 15th touchdown pass of the season.
There's the big fella. The big hot dog. Getting behind the linebackers. And that was Hannibal Davies, his former teammate, who was in there in the jumbo goal line package for the Cincinnati Bengals.
Now, Bill, we have 3:11 remaining.
No, what you have is a ball game.
Onside kick? If you're the Packers, you onside kick here. What do you think? Or do you rely on your defense to get it back?
I think the defense has done a good enough job today, Sam, that I take my chances here. I take my chances here. I try to kick them down. I want this ball pinned down directionally on the kickoff to the sidelines, inside the numbers to the sidelines. And I want my coverage team to pin them back there. It's going to be the hands team that is going to be out on the field, it looks like.
For the Bengals.
For the Bengals. Expecting that. But this defense has played good enough. And every time the Green Bay Packers have battled back a little bit, the momentum for the Bengals has dropped.
Deltho Neal is the man who is deep for the Bengals to receive. Longwell will kick. Bubba Frank, 7 receptions, 62 yards, 1 touchdown. Longwell kicks it deep.
To the corner. Exactly. Inside the numbers. Perfect.
From the 6. Looking for room. And he doesn't have much. Up to the 20. Good tackle on the play by Brady Papinga. Turnovers have been a big factor. Interceptions thrown by Brett Favre, 5 of them. That's a career high. Deltho Neal, Torrey James, Odell Thurman has 2 interceptions. But Favre came back to complete an 88-yard drive with a 1-yard touchdown pass to Bubba Franks. And the Packers are within 7.
Sam, when you talk about that, can you imagine that you're in a ball game on the road with 5 turnovers? That's unheard of in this league.
Let's see how the Bengals play it with 3 minutes to go. Rudy Johnson, no gain. Well done by the Packers. Oh, they stormed in there.
They knew what was coming.
No gain on the play. Nick Barnett led the charge.
Look at them sell out. Watch them sell out. They knew what was coming. It was the power run game was coming in. Well, I want you to watch the linebackers here attack this. Here's Barnett. Here's Papinga. Watch them attack this point. Right up in there. Bang, the fullback goes down. And then there's the wrap-up by Nick Barnett. That's big-time football. And that's selling out at a point when you're under 3 minutes to play to get back in the game. They need to stop them. They need 3 and out. They need to get the ball back with a short field.
Packers use their first timeout. They still have 2 remaining. You see the numbers as far as winning goes. +3 or better. If you're Cincinnati, you should be putting this game away. If you're the Packers, you've got very little chance to win.
If you're -5, it's got to be about the 4. Oh, let's go to 4. It's got to be, what, 1%?
It's way down there.
1%.
Somehow they still have a shot.
It's not somehow. It's 1%. It's 1% of 99% against them, and the 1% is Brett Favre. He's the guy that can keep you there. He's also the guy that can pull it out.
And the defense for the Packers has denied the Bengals the opportunity to score a lot of points off the turnovers. Perry taking the toss. Nice turn of the corner. Nice game by Chris Perry.
That hurt.
And he went down and stayed in bounds.
How about that?
The 37.
Second year, man. Knowing what happens if I bust one outside, I'm going to get tackled. Do not go out of bounds. Force your opponent to use a timeout or let the clock run. Watch Chris Perry. When he gets cornered to the sidelines right here, he just goes down.
Smart move.
Very heads up.
17-yard gain. Packers do use another timeout. They only have 1 remaining. And you know, Bill, there's a reason the critics are calling Prison Break the best TV show of the season. It's quite a show. And tomorrow night, a 2-hour event. Do not miss it. 8 Eastern, 7 Central. Prison Break. Your discretion advised. It is a tense, intense show.
I will have that on tomorrow night, Sam. Okay? At my house.
Yes.
With bowls of candy. Bowls of candy. Dark, lights out, masks on, much like the one I'm wearing right now. Scaring little kids.
Love those poor kids, they have to ring your doorbell.
Love Halloween.
Rudy Johnson straight ahead. Packers stop him. Packers have only 1 timeout remaining.
You know, the thing about it is, Terry Bradshaw, at his house, he still has that bowl of pennies where each trick-or-treater gets 1. You know that? I mean, he's the guy on the street. You just want to bypass Terry's house on Halloween.
Unless you're collecting pennies.
Did you see Frank Caliendo today? That was some good stuff.
Yeah, really good. 3 tight ends and some great costumes, some great makeup. Should have brought some up for us. Coming down to the 2-minute warning. Packers have 1 timeout remaining. Bengals have a 7-point lead and the football. We'll be right back.
Fox NFL Sunday is sponsored by UPS. What can Brown do for you?
I see packages coming in from Shanghai today.
Yeah, Oracle, I know. 200 and 80 from Portland tomorrow morning.
What?
It's UPS. See, now I get a detailed report of all their shipments coming in.
Huh.
I've already notified production and alerted sales.
Well, I can't compete with that.
Yeah, that's why you're being reassigned to accounting. Oh, my stapler.
Dad?
Hey, buddy.
Could you read me a story? Football.
That's okay. I can freeze time.
Whoa.
The DirecTV DVR, the most magical thing that ever happened to TV. Finally, an easy-to-use DVR that gives you the power to pause and rewind live TV, so you'll never miss a second of what's important to you.
Somebody up there loves you. DirecTV.
Sign up and get a DirecTV DVR free. Call 1-800-DirecTV.
The king is going all out, laying it on the line with BK chicken fries. Grab the new all-white meat 12-piece and score a free medium fries and drink. Get in the game quick. The clock is ticking on this deal.
If you haven't tried Coors in a while, you may have forgotten how cold and refreshing a Rocky Mountain beer can taste. So crack one open and refresh your memory.
Rocky Mountain High, Colorado.
This has been a good game. We've got another one coming your way. We send you to Denver after this one. First place Broncos, the Eagles trying to stay up top in the NFC East. Stay tuned. The second game of our Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader. Right here, 2nd and 10. Jim Bates, Packers defensive coordinator. He needs a couple of stops. 3 wide receivers for the Bengals. Chris Perry in the backfield. And Palmer works out of the shotgun. Shovel pass to Perry. Hit immediately. Nice play by Nick Barnett, the middle linebacker.
Very good read by Nick Barnett. Very good. Staying at home. Don't try to do more than you're supposed to do.
Packers are out of timeouts. They used their last one with a 3rd and 10 coming up. Don't forget, our Sprint post-game show, the Game Break show, is coming up with JB, Terry, Howie, and Jimmy with scores and highlights. If we have time, we'll give you bonus coverage with the Chicago and Detroit game. That game is tied 13-13 with 9.5 minutes to go, and that will precede our sending you to the doubleheader game in Denver with Philadelphia at Denver. A lot of football left on Fox, and we hope there's a lot of football left for Brett Favre. He's great to watch. He's great to be around. He's had a tough day, but man, does he compete.
With Green Bay out of timeouts right now, this is so critical for them to get off the field. Yep. And I think it's a situation, Sam, where it's a do-or-die situation. And I think when you have the do-or-die situations, you're going to have to man up, and you're going to have to bring the blitz at Carson Palmer because they need 10 yards, period.
Bengals 7 for 12 on 3rd down conversions in the game. It's 3rd and 10 with the 2 Johnsons in the backfield and Hushmanzada motioning. Palmer sets it. Rudy Johnson up to the 43, short of the 1st down. Packers will get the ball back. They're out of timeouts, but they will get the ball back. As the clock continues to run. They get another 30 seconds on the play clock.
And, you know, for this matter, even where they're at right here, you know, if you take this clock all the way down to 1 second left on it before you snap it.
And that play clock now has 15 seconds. 6th punt of the game.
They're going to have
for Kyle
about
Larson.
a minute and 6.
Chapman is deep. He'd like to get a return. Let's see if the Packers go for the block. And they take the delay. They take the delay, or they use a timeout.
No, I think they took the delay.
Timeout.
Timeout.
Bengals called timeout.
Who turned around to call? I didn't even see.
Could have been at the sideline. The coach may have called it on the sideline.
I didn't see that because I didn't see any movement out there. And I was thinking this would be a good area of the field to take the delay. Take it on down, and then if you backed it up. But they took the timeout. Now what the timeout will do, okay, is see this 25-second clock will start. And the ball will be put back into field of play when the ball snapped. But they've got time here to kick the ball off down there and pin them down pretty good. And have it with only, what, a minute?
Maybe a minute 5. Maybe
a minute 5.
Depending on what Chapman does on a return. Brett Favre, helmet on, ready to come back in and try a comeback. Last time the Packers had the ball, an 88-yard drive for a touchdown. Good snap. Larson gets it away. Line drive kick. And it bounces at the 20. Good roll for the Bengals. Stops at the 10-yard line. 90 yards to go for the Packers. 47-yard punt. Only 56 seconds remaining in the game. That was a good one for Larson. And now Brett Favre is going to work his magic.
Most of the times you would say odds are against him. But you never really say that when number 4 strolls out onto the field and walks into that huddle.
It's been a mixed bag day for him. He's thrown a touchdown pass. He's moved ahead of John Elway in passing yardage in NFL history, or rather moved into second all time behind Dan Marino, ahead of Elway. Flag goes down. They stop the play. False start on the Packers. Now they've got to go 95 yards.
False start. Offense, number 76. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Chad Clifton can't believe it. Oh, yeah, for sure. 6 penalties.
And the further they get backed up into that end zone, look at the crazy fans down in that end zone in the jungle. They are letting them hear it.
3 wide receivers. Andre Thurman, just signed this week, goes out to the left. Big handoff, blitz coming. Favre stepped away from it. Throws it deep on the run, way down for Thurman. And it's incomplete.
Flag.
Yes.
Pass interference.
Wow. 2 flags thrown. Interference is the call on Ifeanyi Ohalete. Fans really upset with the call. Well, Ohalete can't believe it.
The rules that govern pass, defensive pass interference are this. 1, did you have contact when the ball was in the air? Was it incidental contact? Their feet got tied up. Did you use your body to cut off the route of a receiver? And that's where it came in.
Wow, big call. 48-yard penalty.
That's where it comes into play, Sam. Disrupting the route of a receiver. You are not allowed to use your body. They are huddled up. They are together. They are talking about it.
They're talking it again.
But the referee is not coming over.
No, it looks like it will stand.
He used his body to disrupt the route of the receiver. And you saw where the ball came down. Where the ball came down would have made it a catchable ball and not one that was over the head of the receiver. If it was over the head and a non-catchable ball, then the pass interference would not stand.
First down, Packers at the Cincinnati 47. Favre throws, and it's caught. Antonio Chapman, it was tipped off the hand of Donald Driver. Chapman made the catch at the 28-yard line. Clock running. Packers are out of timeouts. 30 seconds remaining.
They're not putting it down.
Favre. And now, whoa, what happened here?
The fan came out. It's the Burger King guy.
What is going on?
There's a fan on the field. He took the snap.
This is incredible.
I think
Brett tossed him the ball.
Well, the guy came running onto the field, and when the ball was snapped and he caught it, I thought it was the Burger King guy.
I thought Brett tossed him the ball thinking it was somebody. They had stopped the play. The whistles had sounded. And unbelievable. And now the fan is wrapped up by security. The ball is spotted at the 28-yard line with 26 seconds remaining. And here come the Packers with 3 wide receivers.
I don't think the guy's going to get to keep the ball.
No, I don't think so. He might spend a little time in the local jail.
He's going to miss Halloween.
Tony Fisher's in the backfield with Favre. Favre talking to Flanagan. Remember the bad snap earlier with Wells in there. Favre takes it back, being rushed. He's in trouble. They got him. First sack on Brett Favre in the last 3 games. Packers are going to run out of time. They've got to stop the clock. He does. 5 seconds. He faked it. He faked it. He's running with a football. He tosses it ahead. He was across the line of scrimmage. Illegal forward pass. It's over. And the Bengals have won it. 21-14. Brett Favre out of gas. On his knees. But the Cincinnati Bengals have won their 7th in a row over an NFC team. First time Brett Favre has lost to the Cincinnati Bengals. He gave it everything he had. Chad Johnson. I think Chad wants his jersey right now. I'm surprised at Brett, though. I think he should have spiked the ball and gotten one more play.
It was close.
What a scene.
You know, he did fool him. He did fool him. And he's the guy in command out there. And he's the same smart guy that made the decision earlier in the game to go with the hurry up because Donald Driver did not catch that ball. And he kept the whole thing moving. He thought he could get something done. You have to go with his initial thoughts.
Bengals are 6-2 for the first time since 1988. Packers are 1-6. That's it from Cincinnati. Let's go back to JB in the studio.
All right, so for the first time in Brett Favre's career with the Packers, they are 1-6. And as you heard Sam mention, the Bengals improved to 7-0 over the NFC. Yes.